2. Hey everybody, welcome to League of Legends Anonymous podcast. It is I, your host, Wise Papa Smurf, the most handsome man on the podcast tonight. And with me is Michael, Ponderous Sea Lion. What's up, man?
Yeah, kind of a weird intro, but I mean, I guess I haven't been on in long enough, so you think that you can reclaim that title. That's fine.
It's weirdly accurate. You are right. Hey, and
Yeah.
shout out to our only German fan. Hey, Adrian.
Hey, Adrian.
Nice seeing you again.
Listen,
All
I didn't
right.
want to say this while you were on because it's no fault of yours, but there was this kid whose parents were from Germany, and he was and he lived on my street for many years, and he was extremely annoying. So I just wanted to say that I thought of him when you joined, but you weren't annoying. So glad to have you here, man.
Wow.
That was great. I don't want to
Hooray
make him
for
feel
that.
unwelcome, but you know what? Now he can know.
You know, the
You can
only
find it out.
link between him and that annoying kid was the fact that they were both from the same country of origin, right?
No, and they're both named Adrian.
Oh, they're both named Adrian. Okay, that's
Yeah,
fair.
that was
So
the whole point.
they're both German and named Adrian?
Yes. Come on.
Okay,
That's
that
fair.
I can buy. Okay,
Yeah.
there's a connection there.
Yeah.
It was a different guy then, right?
Yeah. No, it wasn't
Totally
him.
different guy.
Well,
All
he
right.
wasn't. I'm pretty sure this German fan was actually in Germany, so
Yes, he
not-
very much
not
was.
Texas.
Yeah, so we
anyways.
played with Adrian the other night. He logged onto the podcast in the Discord and came to hang out. And
Shout out to him for coming on at like 4 a.m.
yeah, he was on at
His
like
time.
4 or 5 in the morning, and then we played like 2 or 3 league games, and then played Among Us for like 2 hours. And
That was
we
fun.
brought over the League Cast guys, who he's also a fan of, but for the record, is much less of a fan of them than they is of us. Fuck you, Aiden.
I have to fucking study up because Aiden thinks he's getting fucking slick in Among Us, and I have to bring him back down.
Oh, we gotta
with my
knock that
fucking
shit out.
Big brain detective work, but anyways.
Dude,
Among
I don't
Us is
know what
pretty
makes
dope.
you slick about hanging out in admin every time. Like his ass gets murked by his girlfriend every round. There's no skill here. She's
Oh my
skilled. She killed his ass clean like twice.
And one more piece of Among Us talk. Donrun, you're a little bitch. I hope you know that wherever you are, because I bet you're listening to this. This motherfucker kills me first every round. He was imposter 5 times in a row. And 5 times in a row, he killed my ass first round and never got caught for it. Fuck you, Donrun.
Yeah. He knows the
anyways.
weakest link. You stray away from the pack like an injured deer, and Donrun just puts you down.
Yeah.
It makes
Truly.
sense.
Yeah.
It's next level. And plus,
Go fuck yourself.
well, plus, like, you're one of those people that actually tries to figure out who killed who. Right?
Oh, like you're not? Like you don't get, let's just vote whoever.
No, I'm super quiet. That's how I play. Is I play super quiet and I take notes and shit, and I get meticulous towards the end. Right? I'm a sleeper. And that works out for me because if I'm the imposter, I'm also a sleeper and I don't say much. And I let I let what's his nuts who's that guy that just insta random susses people?
Testimony?
That's
Trevor?
Fuck you, Trevor.
Hey, Trevor.
You know
how
who
doing,
you
man?
are. Like, Trevor just hard throws shade, and I'm finally just like, I'm actually a crewmate. And he's like, it was that I'm like, God damn it, Trevor, just stop randomly guessing people for one fucking game.
God damn it, dude.
And he's like immune to the 50-50 because everybody knows he's full of shit. You know what I mean? Like, they won't 50-50 him because they know he's bullshit. And it's like, he's not trying to be strategic. He's just...
Shout out to Trevor.
No shout out to Trevor. Fuck you, Trevor.
Shout outs to Trevor. Crewmate number 12.
Yep.
Or
Shout
I
out
guess
to
number 6.
Donrun for murdering this shouting out
Oh my
motherfucker
God.
every game.
Fuck Donrun. If I
I'm
see
on
him,
Team Donrun now.
the next time he kills me, I'm banning him from the Discord permanently.
So, that being said, we're here. We're not talking about Among Us anymore because we have something very important to talk about. And
Oh, true.
since we were super late at recording this episode, we'll probably have an episode today and then like a double drop episode.
Yo, Blake
tomorrow out of
definitely
nowhere.
didn't just. We weren't just like fucking around in the Discord, and Blake wasn't just like, "Hey, we need to record an episode like right now because we
Okay.
haven't done one."
So, to be fair, I'm going to blame Adrian for this, our German fan. Because I was going to force everybody to do it that night, and he walked in, he's like, I love you guys. You guys are hilarious. And I'm like, okay, I like this guy. We're gonna play games with this
You
guy.
complimented Blake. Dangerous game
No,
he's
no.
playing.
He complimented me, and then he complimented Double Sniffed, and it memed in my mind because like remember that time that it was like you, me, and Zill and Double were all in a room, and a fan came in and he's like, "Oh my God, I love you guys. Why is Papa Smurf? Oh, you're the best. Oh, there's Padres here. Oh, that's amazing. And Zill, oh, you guys are great. I love you." And Double's just sitting there, and he doesn't acknowledge Double at all. And then finally, after he's done like gushing, Double's like, anybody else? Anybody else you like on the podcast? So like every time he gets a compliment, I make sure to like drag his ass in. I'm like, nope, say it to him. Say it. Tell him you like him.
Say it now.
Yeah, say it now. He can hear you. So we had a great time. And then like of course the entire cast got on within like 5 minutes, and Adrian like we had a time, and then we all played Among Us with, the guys from
Leaguecast.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
I just blanked. I was gonna say that other fucking podcast.
That
people
inferior
listen to.
podcast.
Yeah, the other one that's like below us on the rankings.
But
in Malaysia.
They do have better microphones, I'll admit.
Do they?
Okay. Aiden's microphone. He gets many compliments on his microphone. I've never seen a motherfucker get complimented on their mic quality as often as Aiden has.
Okay,
it's
so
kind of insane.
I have a Yeti. Do I just need to buy one of those things that like floats the Yeti and then use it every episode? Will that make people happy?
No, because he's using, I'm pretty sure, like a $300 or $400 XLR mic, which I actually have one of those, but it's such a pain to set up. I'm not gonna fucking bother.
Jesus Christ. I'm not. We don't have that kind of money.
I know.
We're
Our patrons are fucking.
We got shiesty patrons, man. We don't have this kind of money. I had a guy who's like, I'm a super fan. I'm going to give the show like $500. I was like, oh, okay. Like, that's not, thank you. Like, we could always use the money for stuff because we have stuff. And, sometimes I have to buy a bunch of stuff and we have expenses. So, yeah, that'd be great. And he's like, yeah, how should I do this? Should I give it to the Patreon? I was like, no, don't do that. They take a percentage. Just send it to this PayPal. And he's like, yeah, okay, that's awesome. And then we played a bunch of games together, and he never sent the money.
You got grifted, dude.
I straight grifted. No, I don't. That's the thing. I don't know if people think they have to like promise us money or something to play with us, but you don't. Just show up in the Discord, and we'll hang out and play. That's not a big deal.
Yeah, and by like game 3, I'll be flaming you. That's why, Adrian, you didn't get flamed because we only played 2 games together. So you join back up, you're 100% getting flamed. It's nothing personal. I do it to everyone.
It's the 3rd game special. I think he got enough of you flaming Riot in general and screaming shit like, this fucking game. Oh my God, this guy is just better than me. He just is just so much better than me.
I laned against Aphelios. I rest my case. I land against Aphelios. I rest my case. That champion is bullshit. I land against Aphelios.
Speaking of bullshit champions in League of Legends, Seraphine is announced. And
Seraphine? Wait, hang on. Yeah. Don't you mean Sarah Queen? As in Queen of the Simps, Blake?
Okay, let's just start there. Because I don't even want to get into the kit. You have
listen. I'm of the Zoomer generation. I know what it's like. Mm-hmm. You see your favorite e-girl streaming on Twitch, Pokimane, Valkyrae, whoever it is. You see them every day, and you just think, I wish she would be mine. But she's not, because she's rich and famous, and you're a fucking loser that watches her stream. So what does Riot do instead? They sell you the fantasy. Your very own e-girl, but she contorts to your every whim in League of Legends. That is Seraphine. She's got a Twitter account. No other League of Legends champion has a Twitter account. She's the very first, and she's my new main. I'm switching to support.
That's a great idea. We don't have enough of those in the Discord. I don't know how we'll manage to fill that role if you don't swap. So right off the bat, like, I want to talk about this. So normally champion reveals are done in some weird way, right? Always figures a weird and unique way in order to do champion reveals. And that's cool. I've got accustomed to that. Like with Jhin, they had like the pictures of champions getting artistically killed with the flowers and whatnot. And you're like, what? This is kind of cool. Like the Gangplank died to, for
like
the one.
Luigi in the one game.
Yes.
The trailer for that.
Like Luigi in the one game. That's very good.
Like 2 people know what I'm talking about. It was a meme for a while.
Cat in the Hat 2.
Shut the fuck up.
Anyway, so like they had like all these interesting champ reveals, and like there was one that was like video dropped. You know, they had like they always try to do unique and different things to just announce new champions, and I think that's awesome. But this has gone to like a next level creepiness that I do, and maybe I'm just okay. It is entirely possible that I am old and I am out of touch.
Okay, but can
With
they
the
both
younger
not be
generation.
true? Can they both not be true? Okay, I will speak as a delegate from the younger generation.
Okay, well, let me speak as a delegate from the older generation first, and then you can have your turn. So I look at this and I'm like, okay, it's a new champion reveal. How are they doing it this time? She has a Twitter account. And at first I thought, oh, so they've found a new, like, real life person that they're going to plug into, like, their real life equivalent KDA group, right? And maybe it's like a singer or some K-pop person that I'm just not familiar with, and that's what it is. And so they've created like a modern persona for this, right? I was like,
separate from the Runeterra universe. I might
yeah,
add.
separate from the Runeterra universe, and just like, oh,
Supposed to
okay,
be like
so
modern day, like 20 something. Just
yeah.
to be clear.
So I thought that's what they were doing, is that this was going to be like a K-pop person that like is a real person that plugs into KDA, and that they were going to do a new KDA album or something. Like that was my thought as to what it is they were trying to do. Okay, cool. Then they announced her as a champion. And then the link becomes this was this champion as a child. And there's like pictures of her as a kid, and then her thoughts, and
as
like
somebody who went through her entire Twitter account yesterday because I just was transfixed. It's really fucking weird. And I'm saying this again, delegate from the younger generation. I'm 21. Blake is like what, 50?
Yeah.
50 now or something?
Yeah, 55.
It made it really weird when we were friends when I was like 16.
Yeah, I have a blanket on over my legs to prevent myself
Dude, you
from being
always
cold.
have some fucking shit on. Like, you've always got a blanket or a fucking... What did you put on your head that one time? You're like, I've got such a bad headache right now, guys. I need to go...
Oh, my headache hat.
Oh, yeah. My God. You're
that
so
thing's
fucking...
brilliant.
You're actually a boomer. Jesus
No,
Christ,
that thing's fucking amazing. Like, it's... Okay. I know
I've been to this guy's house. He's got weighted blankets. He's got fucking...
Yeah, weighted blankets are fucking the best form of blanket. What is your fucking problem, Michael? Like,
I'm just saying he takes comfort very seriously.
Yes, I do. Those are good products, and you should buy them regardless of age. Like, that's okay. Backing up a second, I know it makes me feel old as shit to say like this medical device is amazing. Like, I feel like I should be on a diabetes commercial or talking about a catheter. That is not what I'm doing. I've had like headaches ever since I was a child because my brain is so huge and full of information.
That's what lets him make imposter plays.
That's what the doctor said. Is that you're just too intelligent for a brain to house in your actually larger than average skull.
This motherfucker's wearing a PlayStation logo shirt, by the way. He's the smartest person in the entire universe.
Yeah, well, you know, if you game and shit, you gotta wear your PlayStation shirt, right? Because you gotta let the people know. That's how that is. So anyway,
exactly how it is.
Where was I at? Oh yeah, I get headaches and shit. So they made this hat that like basically you put it in your freezer. It's got a bunch of little ice cubes in it. Whenever you get a headache, you like put it onto your head and then like Velcro it in the back, and it just holds an ice pack on your head. Fucking amazing for headaches. Like the best. And so I know that makes me sound ancient as shit, but I wish I would have found this whenever I was like 15. And had a ton of headaches. Like, that would have been killer. But anyway, that aside, I'm looking at this stuff, and it's just creepy. And, like, I don't know what happened to the gamer demographic that, like, made us susceptible to being completely sexually pathetic. But it wasn't like that when I was a kid. Like, just because
it definitely was. Like, you were getting none as a teen and young adult. Don't lie. Getting nothing.
We played sports. God damn it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, for real though, like kids that played games weren't that weird. Like, and I don't,
Well, I think they're still not. I think that the problem is that now there are more people that are more open about letting gaming be their entire personality. Like now that's more socially acceptable and it's making them weirder because
okay,
like it used to be if you were the video game kid, you were weird. Like you could play video games, but you also like had to do other things for people to not think you were weird, you know, like when you were a kid or whatever.
sure,
But
sure.
now it feels like I don't know. Now they're like gaming has become so mainstream that like in a weird way it makes it
It has a
more
culture.
acceptable for weirdos. Yeah, exactly.
And then the culture spreads to include weird shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, fine. I mean, I play Magic the Gathering. I understand fringe groups that get fucking weird because
Yeah.
Magic is that. Like, there are people in
Yes.
it that are just fucking strange. And they're always like, for example, this kind of person that I'm about to talk about is the akin to the guy who shows up to the magic shop and hasn't showered in like 6 days. And
Mm-hmm.
every magic shop has two of those minimum, right? Like minimum. And if you go there, you know who the fuck I'm talking about. Everyone has two of them. Like, I don't care what store you go to. I went to Joplin. There were two smelly guys in there out of like 15. Like, it is what it is. And or you go to a video game tournament and there are those guys there. Like when we went to Worlds in New York, like Jesus, the body stink on that crowd was legit. I couldn't. I'm like, come on, guys, it's
They hadn't
deodorant.
gone outside in a week.
Well, it's not fucking expensive. Throw some fucking deodorant. Rub it all over. I don't even give a shit because you are odored, and that is deodorant. Like,
You are
use it to counter this problem.
malodorous, so get on some deodorus for the love
Yeah,
of God.
fucking A, man. Like, it's not hard. Like, it's one step. Rub this on your body. You smell better. Done. Anywho, that rant aside, but like, this, like, anime culture and like gaming culture has kind of like meshed to make this really weird
Subgroup.
subgroup sexualization of like, and look, just so you know, I am not judging you for whatever you decide to jerk your gherkin to. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Same here. I don't
Like,
care.
I don't care. If somebody drew something that was a particularly attractive drawing, I'm not too proud. We go to town. That's not a problem. No judgment whatsoever. I don't care. What I am talking about is people that make comments like this.
Okay,
Michael,
let's find
your
one.
comments, please.
Okay. So for everyone, just to go a little bit more in depth on the Seraphine account before I get to the comments.
And by the way,
sweet,
whenever
juicy
you were
comments.
saying your piece before this, I was literally going to say, and encounter Exhibit A, like this shit, like.
So okay, so the Seraphine Twitter account is like extra weird. Like we said that it was weird that they made a Twitter account for a champion. Personally, it's not, the concept itself is not that weird. It's actually kind of an interesting way to like do a champion, a Twitter or a fucking champion reel. Sorry, and it even got me thinking about like, because I was like, is it weird for video game characters to have Twitter accounts? And then I was like thinking about it for a little while, and I was like, no, I think it could be fucking hilarious if like Kratos from God of War had a Twitter account, but he's just like tweeting shit in character. I think that'd be fucking funny.
Like if
Like,
Kratos is like, a Blizzard from Dairy Queen and has something to say about it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna
Like,
destroy it.
there's a lot of different ways
whatever.
you could go with it.
Yeah,
Like, it
you
could
just
be
go nuts.
funny.
Yeah.
Or it could be, whatever.
It could be awful. Right.
It could be super cringy, it just depends. But on the Seraphine account, the thing that made it weird was like, if you told me like they're gonna make a Twitter account for a champion and try to have her be like a real person, kind of, like, to me, the way that you would want to do that, because they just made it weird. Like, it could have just been them posting like the thing that I actually find the least weird is when they like have her like post selfies and stuff with like some dumbass
Yeah, like
caption.
an Instagram account or
Like,
something.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I would honestly think an Instagram account would have been better than a Twitter account because
Agreed.
Twitter is actually my favorite social media platform. I don't really post that much anymore, but I used to tweet a lot. I'm not really a fan. I'm not a fan of Facebook. I've never really had a Facebook. I'm not a huge fan of Instagram because I don't take pictures of anything. So I like Twitter because you can just like dumb thought, send, and then it's done. And then maybe somebody sees it, maybe somebody doesn't.
Right.
But Twitter in a way is much more, I think, intimate and personal than Facebook and Instagram. Like when you post something on Instagram, I think that you have this expectation, and I know this is fucking just Zoomer brain 101 to be like analyzing the differences between different social media platforms, but I think it does matter because Riot knows the differences between the social media platforms because they have people who've like studied this shit and like fucking figured it out, and that's why they went with Twitter.
Yeah,
That's
like
also what makes it weird.
social engineers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The same people that fucking do all the evil shit to make you buy RP. Those people. The person who came up with the shop that gives you discounted shit every 3 months. That's the person who came up with this idea.
The
but with
person who
Instagram,
sells shit for 99 cents instead of $1 in order to trick you into making
Exactly.
you think it's a better deal.
Exactly. The reason why your phone gets all the fucking notifications all the time because it feeds dopamine to you every time you look at your phone when you get a notification like, oh, I wonder if somebody's responding to my thing. Those people. That's a real occupation. It's really weird, really creepy, really dystopian, but that's not what we're here to talk about. Why they picked Twitter is what's weird because I think with Instagram, there's this expectation that when you like post something, it's kind of going to live in perpetuity, you know, like it's on your page and like people visiting each other's pages is not that weird. Like it's kind of weird when you like visit someone's Twitter account. You know what I mean? Like when you visit someone's Twitter account, it's like you're fucking looking for something, you know? Versus like I think with Instagram, it's like not that weird to like look at somebody's post and then like scroll through and look at
shit. If you're checking somebody's Twitter and you go beyond what is current, you're delving intentionally.
Exactly.
Instagram is intended to delve.
Yeah,
like it's just literally like flip through pictures and that's totally normal. Whereas in Twitter it wouldn't be. So yes, I get your point. That would be a much more acceptable platform for this.
Yes, and that's what I would like
to
to
also because it's more than sharing pictures on Twitter. It's sharing thoughts.
Right.
And
that's what makes
it weird.
That's
where it gets
like
weird.
if they posted a fucking picture, like if they let's say they did an Instagram instead, and the first picture was like Seraphine at the beach doing the little anime face, and she's like beach vibes or something, like, and it's like, okay, I get it. That would be, I guess, fine. And then the next one is her in the music studio because she's like a music themed champion, if anyone doesn't know. And then she's like recording today or something. It'd be like, okay, that I mean, that's still kind of weird, but like I wouldn't really have a second thought about that.
Yeah, but you're faking a pop star account, so I get it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like
that would make sense.
And pop stars are already like one level of separation from like the average person. I know they're just normal people, quote unquote, but they live a different life than a normal person. They really do. And I don't think that you can actually like deny that. And so it's like by taking it in that direction, you're taking something that's already like one step away from the average person's reality and then doing a like fake version of that versus like when they started her account, she was like an up and coming musical producer who was like just trying to sort my way through the world, like that type of shit. And it's like, I know why they did it. It's because they want to increase the feelings of intimacy that you have when you look at it. They want her to feel like a real person, even though everyone knows that she's not a real person. It's really odd. But I guess I'll start with a more recent post. And this is actually an example of something that I thought would be like more of what they would do with this, but it's just a selfie of her with the face shit on when like girls do a face mask and they rub shit on their face. She's like got that, and then she says like the caption is "The secret to good skin is love" with a frog emoji. This is what I would expect from this shit, you know, like just fake, very surface level, like. Look at this. I'm a champion in League of Legends. I'm a cute girl. Like the picture and move on. But I mean, so that's like what I expected. It gets a lot weirder. I'll just wait for it to get weird. Let me find some comments that are good. You want me to read the joke comments first or like a real comment?
It doesn't matter to me. I want you to
All
get
right.
to the comment that you read before the podcast that I went like, oh my God, what is
Which one?
wrong with people?
Which one was? Anyways, let's read this one. So I'll start with a serious comment. So this person commented, responding to this tweet, said, "I love seeing you take time to yourself. You make me want to take care of myself too. But let's be honest, who looks so cute while doing a face mask? You're amazing, princess." And then Seraphine responds to that with, "Take time for yourself too. We got this," heart emoji. And then, uh, and then this person, I didn't even see this. I just clicked expand. And then another person responded with, "If you don't mind sharing, what's your skincare routine at Sarah.wave?" Which, of course, they didn't just make her account Seraphine, which was probably taken. It's Sarah.wave. So it's like just another fucking element. It's not like Seraphine lol, you know? Like they could have done that, but it's Sarah.wave, which is like a music producer thing, like a wave file. If anyone's not familiar with that, that's the reference there. Just so many levels of creepiness. So anyways, this person is just asked a drawing for their skincare routine. And then somebody did respond to that. First, she makes the outline of her face with a pencil. Then she gives the skin color with paint.
Yeah.
But like, and here's the thing. I know that this person, Alexander Evans, shout out. I know that he doesn't actually think that Seraphine has a fucking skincare routine. I know he knows it's a drawing. I don't think he's like literally insane and thinks that she's real. But it's like he wants the response just to like cement it a little bit further that she's like she could be real. Like to me, it's almost like, have you ever read like those old they were like Tumblr was known for doing this, like those old posts where it was like, and then everybody clapped at the end, you know? Have you heard like of this thing where it's like,
what the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, so it was like they were called like fake text posts basically. And the joke was, or not a joke, like a lot of them were serious, but they'd post some bullshit story that obviously has never happened about someone like standing up for themselves or asserting their dominance to people, and like, and then it's obviously fake and people call them out for it. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, like, so I stood up to the whole class and told that teacher to go fuck herself, and she apologized to me.
Exactly, those types of stories. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. My vernacular is just a little too Zoomer for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's correct. And for everybody, by the way.
Oh, shut the fuck! I guess
even people your age probably hate you.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah. Go on.
Yeah. So you know those stories, and I think that the people who tell those stories like haven't deluded themselves into thinking that they've actually happened, but I do think that they've deluded themselves into believing that they would happen if the situation ever arose. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that they've like lied to themselves so thoroughly that they're like, I did tell the teacher off in that story.
Like,
you know,
basically they live life where they could be the protagonist in a story of their own creation.
Exactly. But they're not, and like, and I think that they don't think it's real, but they think that it's like it would become real if it ever happened.
It's an appealing yet apparently accessible fantasy.
Exactly. Like it could happen in theory, like it would be super unlikely.
And that's what, okay, so let's go there. That's what creeps me out about this. Because you are appealing to the group that you know wants to interact with this champion as though they were a person, and then you feed it. And then the responses just get fucking weird.
Yes. And that's to me like he wants to, like, this guy, what he wanted for Alexander Evans, like, and let me just say, I hope to God it's a fucking girl running this account, or a woman, or however you want to say it. I hope to God it's not some fucking dude that's my age that's like just fucking
some like soul rot riot intern that was just given this account. And he's like a 25-year-old man. And he's like, oh my God, fuck, dude. What do I tell this weirdo about my skincare routine?
I know. I hope it's a fucking girl running this account. Like,
I hope it's a fucking downtrodden intern, and I hope he's unpaid.
No, dude, you know this is like a
Like,
creative. You know this is a fucking creative consultant. It's L.A. You know there's somebody getting paid a lot of money to do this shit. To
I'm
fucking.
hoping it's like a
Well.
I hope it's like a minimum wage, like 1-800 number call-in guy that they just drop this shit on.
And they're
He's
like
like,
talking about him like he's an idiot savant. He can't fucking do anything, but he runs that Twitter account like no
runs
one's
it.
business.
My God, look, he's telling all these simp weeb douchebags about his skincare. They're so into it. They love him.
Oh my
But
god, dude.
so here's the thing that's so weird to me. It's like you combine all the like simps that are into girl gamers, right?
Yeah.
Which Michael also recently exposed me to what that is, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
super creepy. And then you combine that
I
with
showed
like,
him Belle Delphine for any fellow Zoomers who knows who he is.
God damn it. I am so disappointed in
Belle
everybody.
Delphine posting safe for work porn on her YouTube account.
OnlyFans.
Pretty interesting.
So, well, at least the OnlyFans gets pretty explicit, so I don't know. But regardless, Jesus Christ. Like, that is one of the most disappointing. And then so you combine that level of disappointment with all the people who are like, this is my waifu, which is weird in and of itself. Like, I get, like, liking an anime character and being like, of all the anime characters, she's my favorite, right? We used to say,
even I would even say, like, if you wanted to get theoretical, like, no, if I was gonna bang an anime character, it'd be that one. That's even fine.
That's fine
in my
with me.
book.
That's fine. I don't have a problem with that because you're talking about
you're keeping it hypothetical.
Yes, and whenever, but like it twists beyond that with some of these people. That it's like I'm imagining a world in which we're together.
Yes,
and that is too far. Like, that's unhealthy.
Well, and it's not even together like sexually or in some like one-dimensional way. It's like they like have these scenarios where like I'm imagining going to the movies with my waifu. I'm imagining our wedding with my waifu. I'm imagining what kind of kids we'd have with my wife. And it's just like stacks on top of itself and gets weirder and weirder because it's not, you're like taking it beyond like the expectation of the fucking stupid male brain that's just thinking about sex all the time, you know?
Right.
Like, I don't know.
It's well, and then even beyond that, like, I think a lot of it is like people have difficulty connecting with other people, and so it's easier to connect with.
And that's the thing is, I don't want to condemn these people
or whatever
like, at all. I just
I'm not trying to condemn. Yeah. My problem is that Riot's fishing them.
Yes, for sure.
And then it just gets really weird for a champion reveal, like the ones that was like, "We love you, Seraphine, my queen," and all this like shit like that. That one's the one I was talking about, by the way. Is where they refer to her as my queen. Like, this is like, okay, when I was a kid, the weird kids on the internet were white knights for any girl. Like, any girl, it's like, you don't talk to her that way. She's my imaginary girlfriend. And one day she's going to realize how nice I am. And then we're going to be together because of all the times I defended her online.
Yeah.
That was my generation. This generation has like that plus waifu plus whatever. Like,
now they're doing it for girls that don't even exist.
And now you're doing it for girls that don't exist. And
dude,
so
we're
it's
actually, my generation is fucking galaxy brain. I don't know what to tell you. Like, we're just cutting women out of the equation entirely. Like, that's actually brilliant. No more women in dating. We just date our fucking imaginary waifus.
I mean,
and
like,
they will never hurt us and never leave us. That's actually that's so fucking. Wait, they're actually geniuses. What the fuck? They actually figured it out. The simps are right. We're all idiots.
Yeah, they are. I think they're onto something here.
So much sense now.
You know how much time I have to spend like raising my children
and having a white. Oh my.
Yeah.
My fucking league all day, and then simp for fucking Seraphine for like 30 minutes at night, and then we have. It's over. It's fuck. I can't. What do you even say? The simps are like in 2050, and we're stuck in 2020. It's actually so fucked.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's actually genius. I can't believe I just figured this out.
Yeah.
Anyways,
by 2050, non-virtual relationships will have gone the way of racism. We'll all just realize it's wrong and then move on. You
I'm
know?
pretty sure that was a Futurama episode, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It was the one about robots and Lucy Liu.
Lucy Liu and
That's it.
fucking
Yeah.
Kidnapster. Oh, my
Oh
God.
man, I just realized that's the perfect. Like that is what they're doing, right? It's releasing
Yeah.
Lucy Liu bot.
No, my
And-
mom. Okay, I was telling my mom about this, and she straight up said, "Okay, so when are they gonna make a sex doll out of it?" And I was like, "I don't know, Mom. I don't think they're going to, but give it 10 years, maybe it'll happen."
That'll make your mom's kimono business take
Oh
off.
my God! Shut the fuck up. He saw my mom walk behind me in a kimono like one time,
Yep.
and he hasn't shut
That
up
was
about it.
enough. That's all I needed.
Well, the thing that's fucked up is that you and my mom are like, I think maybe closer in age than you and me are,
yeah, she's
which
pretty
is
cool.
really weird. Shut the fuck up, Blake.
So anyway,
Let me read more comments. Let me read more
Yeah,
comments.
read more
Look up-
comments. Read more comments.
Okay,
Keep going.
so this one's from Midbeast. So we all know he's trolling because Midbeast is fucking hilarious. But he's kind of like making fun of the simp culture, and he responds with, "Oh heavenly." Should I try to do his accent? I can't do,
Do
a
what you
fucking
can.
Australian accent.
Do what you can.
Oh heavenly blessed be. I can't do that. I can't do the fucking.
No,
Midbeast
definitely you
accent.
should keep going. This is
Oh
great.
god damn it, dude! This is gonna. I
Our
need to take
numbers
off
are
the-
dwindling in Australia
I need to
every
take a
time you
fucking-
talk. So go
All right.
on. Maybe Malaysia digs this shit. Maybe that's how we
It's
got so
too
high in
fucking-
Malaysia.
It's too hard to do it on command. Oh heavenly blessed be. Dude, I can't do the
Your
Australian accent. on
accent
command.
is so bad. Okay,
I
go
know,
on.
dude, it's fucking. Oh heavenly blessed beauty, whose inner beauty is divine and everlasting. You illuminate the sky at night, and you make the sun light the day. You make the birds sing. You make the breeze whisper like an angel. But most of all, you make me smile. That's beautiful, Midbeast.
You know, yeah, that's great.
Anyways, so that's that one. And this guy said, people really be, he was not responding to Midbeast. He was responding to the original post. People really be talking to a fake video game character's Twitter controlled by a Riot employee like it's a real person. And to that, I have to say, yes. But we also did just realize that the Simps have
Yep.
actually like cracked the fucking code.
Yeah.
Although, you know what's extra weird?
What was that?
Is that I've seen like women talking to her like she's like their friend, which is even more weird in my mind because it's
Yeah,
like
it's weird to move on biology, right?
Yeah.
And be like, yeah, I'd like to hit that.
I'd like to hit that. Of
That's
course.
weird, right? But also, I can okay, you know, again, pretty drawing. I
Yeah.
don't care. Go for it. Go nuts.
Yeah.
You know, it's all anytime you're.
And I
you
am
know,
talking about straight girls specifically. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not
Anytime
trying to
you're-
fucking say that lesbians don't exist. That's not my point.
Again, anytime that you're jerking your gherkin, you're using your imagination in some sense.
In
So
some
I
way.
don't care if it's 100% or 1%. It doesn't matter. Go nuts. Like it's all about fantasy. So do whatever you want to do. But girls fantasizing about a friendship,
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I don't get that one. That
And like doing like the whole like supportive friend group thing. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's like, you know how like when guys comment on each other's pictures, they're like, "You look like a fucking dumbass." Like that's what guys say to each other.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
the equivalent of that is that girls will go to each other's accounts and be like, "Oh my God, you're so pretty. We need to link up again at some point." And then they respond, "OMG, yes, I've missed you so much." Like that's what girls do on social media.
yes.
Like they're doing that shit to Seraphine, like to the Seraphine Twitter account, which is super weird to me. Like, why? She's not going to be your friend. I'm sorry.
And she's also
It's
not
not-
going
it's
to
not
go
gonna
anywhere with you because she's not a physical fucking person.
Yes.
So you're not gonna be. That's none of this shit is gonna happen.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't know what it is that so disappoints me. Like I grew up in gamer culture. I'm wearing a fucking PlayStation shirt.
Yeah.
Like I get it. I grew up playing games from like 3 on. Right? Like cool. I get it. I can relate to. We had LAN parties in high school where we all hooked up our computers together and played like Age of Empires and shit. Like I get the appeal of games. I just this is like
This
I
has
don't-
nothing to do with. I mean, I know that it's like it is affected by games, but it has nothing to do with games, really. You know, I think it's just like that gaming has been a historically disenfranchised hobby, not to a super high degree, but like, you know, there's always people that are like, "Oh, you need to get outside and do something with your life." You know what I mean?
Yeah, like your
that's
parents.
always been a thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm never.
Your mom
leaving
and I
home.
talk about it a lot.
Shut the fuck up. You're a dumbass. But like, there's always been some amount, like from at least the mainstream media, there's always been some level of disenfranchisement. Like, just go fucking watch the compilation on YouTube of like traditional media people and traditional sports people reacting to esports.
Mhm.
Like, I just don't see the appeal of cyber athletes, you know, like that, like
Right.
literally shit like
Why
that.
do you call it an athlete? They don't do nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, like I get it. Like that is a reality, but at the same time, it's like it goes beyond that. It's just really weird. Let's look at more tweets though. Like, we've been on this one long enough. Let's read some more tweets, because not only did they try to like make her a real person, they like did it in a super weird way. Let me scroll back up to the top
And
so I can like.
to be fair to your mother, you do look pale.
I just did up yours to Blake. I know it's an audio medium.
Yeah, that goes over really well for the audio version of the podcast.
Well, that's why I explained it. I'm giving the play-by-play.
That's context for the
But yeah, it's like these weird little details. Like, for example, like, you know how you can put your location on Twitter?
Mm-hmm.
They put her location as hot pot time, which I guess is like a cooking thing, you know?
Isn't
like
that,
a hot pot?
Yeah, like
is it not? Yeah, you like put. I don't know how it works.
Put a bunch of ingredients in a pot, boil it. It's like a soup.
Yeah.
You throw a ham bone in there, get some vegetables. You got a stew going, baby.
Like, that's such a weird. Why not put like an actual city? Like, that's just so weird. That's such a fucking like detail. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that they make weird, is they add all these details. You know, it's like a common trick, and I've been seeing this a lot.
And it's verified.
Oh yeah, and it's verified by the Twitter simps, which is fucking sick.
Like, you have like 4 million followers and not be verified, but a fake character made by Riot Games, verified.
Verificación. And she made and of course she made a tweet about becoming verified. And by the way, yeah, like when she got verified, she's like, "OMG, I'm so excited to be verified." Blah blah blah. You know. Anyways, again, so what I was gonna say is like now that I've been playing a lot of Among Us, I've been thinking about like the psychology of lying, so that I can like beat my friends instead of trying to have fun with them. And like one thing that's like common when people are lying is to add like random details that nobody asked for, because it makes their story more quote unquote believable for them to say like, no, I was doing this specific, like, you know, you lie and say that you were buying a shirt when you were fucking somewhere else. I don't know. And then you're like, oh yeah, I was at the I was at the store and I went and I bought this red shirt that I really liked, and then I took it home. You know what I mean? Like, they'll say shit like that.
But the tag was itchy on my neck, so I took it back, which is why you won't ever see the red shirt, because it was an itchy.
They're doing the equivalent of that, but with like details about her personality. And that is super fucked up and weird and creepy, because it's like Blake was saying, feeding into the delusion of the simp culture, you know? So like, by the way, Sam Hahn, why the fuck are you following this account, bro? I know you fucking have an esports job now. You're too fucking esports for all of us. Why the fuck you following Seraphine on Twiter, bro?
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna double down on that, Sam.
I love you, Sam.
I love you, buddy, but Jesus Christ.
Like, dude, that's like water cooler talk in the esports industry. Like, hey, you see that new Seraphine tweet? Some good shit.
Actually, it's probably water cooler talk at Golden Guardians, when they're like, you know, Sam follows fucking Seraphine. What a dude!
You know, they're all into that shit. Let's be real.
Oh man, I hope not. Yeah, I honestly hope
I know,
not.
I know, Sam. You probably just fucking followed it randomly one day. I know you did, but
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that Sam follows it ironically. That's my hope.
He probably does.
Knowing Sam for as long as I have, that's wrong.
He's got a dry sense of humor. I can definitely see that being the case.
Either that, or he considers it like part of his job.
Yeah, that's what I was also
to do.
I know. I just want. There's nobody else that I follow.
It makes me sad though, Sam. You need to not.
I got to put you on blast for that.
Yeah, come on, buddy.
Get back on the podcast. Get back on the podcast and defend yourself.
You're better than this,
Mr.
Sam.
Esports. Okay, so like there's this one that's another series of like selfies of her like outside, and she took like a couple selfies, and she's all cute and like, I have pink hair, you know. Mm-hmm. And then she said, "Hello world," what was the caption. And then there's like 3 people in a row just responding with like variations of hello and hi, And then this, I do like this one guy who his response was to just put 3 question marks, like he doesn't understand the prompt. like, nothing to add.
I am
Just
that
question
guy,
marks.
for the record. That would be, I'd be like,
Lots of like
this to me, okay. So this to me, whenever I was a kid, they had like fan clubs for cartoons and shit, right?
Mhm.
Where they'd be like, oh, you could send, I'm just gonna like Freakazoid a postcard and he'll answer you. And immediately I was like, that's not, Freakazoid's a fucking cartoon, man. Like, why, what? Like, why? I mean, because that was the non-digital equivalent of whatever we're doing here. And as far as I know, hardly anybody sent that shit in.
Well, but that's for fucking kids. Like
Right.
if you're 6 or something, like you can get a fucking message from SpongeBob.
Yeah, like
quote, unquote. I
SpongeBob
could see
says happy birthday.
I
Okay,
could see
fine.
kids liking that, you know?
That's cool.
Like that's fine.
I mean, like, I wouldn't expect like to have a deep conversation with Wile E. Coyote about fucking anything. That's my point. Is like,
Yeah. Well,
and then at
even if
what
you're
point is it like you're 6, so it's like Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus and whatever, and then you go fast forward to you're 16. What?
Well, and like it would be one thing if it was like if the account was more like League themed, because there's nothing League of Legends related except for her posting about KDA, which is like if it was like the kind of thing where you could like tweet at Seraphine and be like, hey, what do you think of Darius or something? And she was like, OMG, I hate Darius. He always pulls me in and kills, or like some shit like that, you know?
So
like,
much bleed.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
that would still be a little weird, but it would like make sense, and it would be kind of cool. You're like, hey, I got the League of Legends champion to tweet me back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and you're keeping it within this like fake, like not fake, but like virtual digital context. You know, you're not making it like
you're
weird.
keeping it within the storyline
within the context of the
you
video
created.
game. Yeah, exactly. And then this is just like fucking weird. So anyways, that was a good one. Lots of, by the way, interesting fact. Lots of different languages responding here. This is truly a global phenomenon. I've seen Spanish, I think maybe Portuguese. This looks like Chinese. This looks like Korean.
Okay, so we have bitched about this now for 47 minutes, and I want to go on to the kit at this point. So unless you've got some real hot ones, actually save them. We'll come back with
come back and hit it with the sandwich.
Just keep the ones that are the
Dude,
most.
I think this is why people listen to the podcast that are. It's to hear us talk about the digital culture of fucking symptom.
Just save the ones that are particularly cringe, and we'll come back to those. And then I'll say, and this, listeners, is what the fuck we're talking about. Anyway, the kit. So the kit dropped too, and it met kind of universal, what the fuck, this is already a champion response. So let's go over it. And for you listeners that are familiar with Sona, you're going to realize that this is essentially a scrapped VGU for Sona. So let's get started.
Not scrapped, Blake. Not scrapped. Repurposed. Repurposed to power the simps like the Energizer Bunny.
And so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull up Sona, and then I'm going to read from her wiki what her deal is, and then I'm going to read Seraphine's deal, and you can tell me where you spot the difference. Okay? Sona. Sona's basic abilities each generate a unique aura for 3 seconds that empowers her and all targetable allied champions who enter its radius, also incurring a half-second period when she cannot cast her other basic abilities. Power Chord. After casting 3 basic abilities, her next basic attack becomes unstoppable, deals 20 to 240 based on level, magic damage, plus 20 AP, and applies an additional effect depending on the last ability cast. So each ability that you last cast to make your 3rd stack gives you, or well, you could do it 4th, but whatever the last ability was, you get a bonus effect. Okay. Seraphine, for contrast. Every 3rd basic ability, Seraphine's cast will echo, automatically casting a 2nd time. Additionally, which is admittedly slightly different, right? Even though it is an empowered on third attack, it's slightly different. But when she casts nearby an ally, she will create a note. Each note gives her basic attacks more attack range and additional damage consuming the note. So she gets an empowered auto attack when she casts an ability near an ally, and every 3 she gets bonus something. This is not even derivative. This is just the same thing improved. Okay.
I'm just saying, Blake, we dropped from 6 live viewers to 3 live viewers the second we stopped talking about the simp technology. So I think that's what everyone was staying for.
They cashed out. They're probably just going to Seraphine's OnlyFans page.
Probably.
Because that's how they should have dropped the
That
champion.
would be fucking big brain. Just straight up like,
okay, you were on to something
porn.
here.
That would actually.
Yeah, it's right. Go straight to softcore.
Yeah, for sure. Like tasteful, a tasteful nude.
Yeah,
just one nipple.
Put a sticker over.
Oh
like the hentai face with the tongue out and the eyes crossed. That one. Do that, and then
you get the rest of the KDA people in too. It's not.
That should be your champion's ultimate.
It's not exploitation because they're not real.
They make that face, and then everyone is charmed. Done. I just designed you a champion. Anyway.
You're welcome, Riot.
You're welcome. You can use it. You don't even need to pay us. Q for Sona, Hymn of Valor. You send out 2 bolts of magic damage that hit somebody, they do some damage. If it's empowered, it does more damage. Okay, fine. Seraphine. You send out a projectile of pure music, dealing magic damage that's increased by the target's missing health percentage. If it's empowered, it does more damage, because it does it twice. This is literally the same ability, except that Seraphine's is better and is a skill shot of some variety. I mean, it's a big splooshy looking skill shot, so it can't be all that hard to hit.
It's a splooge.
Well, I mean, it doesn't.
Well, you know
it doesn't look like it requires very much skill to hit.
Let's be real, Blake. They're fucking marketing this shit to support mains. I mean, come on. You think they can hit actual skill shots?
I would be
without any hands.
I would be upset if that were not shockingly accurate. So as a support main, I can degrade my own people in this way. Okay, moving on to her W. Sona. She heals people around her, herself and people around her. And then she has an aura that people receive as shield and some additional like healing over time shit. Cool. Her power chord reduces the target size by 8% and damage output by 25%. So she debuffs a champion. Okay. Seraphine surrounds her abilities in a song, granting herself and her allies movement speed and a shield. If Seraphine is already shielded, she heals her allies. Okay, so it's Sona's W and Sona's E put together. So Sona's E, by the way, gives you movement speed and anybody around you movement speed. If you hit somebody with an empowered, it slows them. That is her CC. That's Sona's non-ultimate CC. Seraphine will go to her E. She unleashes a sound wave, dealing magic damage in a line and slowing people. If they're already slowed and it's a second cast on empowered, it roots. If they're already rooted, it stuns. So Sona gets a slow, Seraphine gets a slow and a root or a stun. Okay. Again,
unlucky.
We haven't hit a new mechanic yet. I guess you could consider double cast a new mechanic, but it's really more of an updated Sona empowered auto attack.
R/Sona mains is fucking fuming right now.
Oh, they are. Like, they're super pissed.
They're molding.
Yeah. Go to your ult, right? So Sona has a very cool, pretty unique instant CC ultimate, right? So Sona, for the record, plays an irresistible chord in a target direction, dealing magic damage to all enemies struck and stunning them for a second and a half. And as you guys may know, stuns put you in the same spot, right? You don't move, you're
Well,
essentially
technically, I
stuck.
believe her ultimate makes them dance, so they are moving in their
Yeah,
own
that's
way.
actually true. They do dance, but
Yeah.
they can't do anything for
Yeah, no,
whatever period of
I'm
time.
trolling. I'm trolling.
Seraphine, her ultimate, Take the Stage, produces a captivating force that charms enemies and deals magic damage. Any champion struck, allies included, become part of the performance, extending the range of the ability and granting allies maximum notes. So, all of your allies are going to get empowered auto attacks, and it's super long Sona ult that's thinner. And by super long, I mean like Nami ult range long, it looks like in the picture. Oh, is that the selfie
She's my
picture?
queen, dude.
Oh god, that's so
She's my
weird.
fucking queen.
So it is Sona that is improved in every other way. A charm is better than a root. 99%, or better than a stun 99% of the time. Because you're not only they can't respond, but they're being displaced and pulled further away from an escape route.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like you're taking them half a flash out of position as well as charming them.
Yeah, anything where you can affect an enemy champion's positioning is very powerful.
So this is Sona ult 2.0. The entire kit feels like Sona 2.0. While this champion exists, I don't know why you would play Sona. The only reason that this champion should exist is if they're going to do a VGU of Sona. Riot has responded to, hey, this is Sona, right?
The
Seriously,
general sentiment of you guys just made another Sona.
guys, like,
And they're both musically themed champions,
right.
which is the other fucked up part is that they have the same theme.
Yeah.
Like
Same theme, same kit, same champion.
Yeah.
And Reddit called them out and said, "Hey guys, what the fuck? This is you've already done this. This is a better version of something you already have." And by the way, a better version of something you already have that has like a 52% win rate. So
Yeah.
God knows how this is going to pan out. Hopefully the numbers are more balanced or whatever.
Well, they did
but
a good job with the Samira release, so I have high hopes.
yeah, so nice.
That was a joke, by the way.
Yeah, no, they didn't do that. So how Riot has responded is they said, having played these two champions, they don't feel the same, even though the
Again,
kits are
the
incredibly
problem
similar.
being they had a fucking support main play test it. So of course they thought it was different. They're like, holy shit, my abilities have to be aimed now. It's like a whole nother experience, dude.
It's a brand new game.
It's a brand new. I didn't even know they made abilities like that. I've been playing Soraka for the past 3 years. Holy shit. Yeah.
I hate what you've done to my people.
You're fucking degenerates.
So, anyway, like there are, and so I will give them some ability to bounce back on this. Changing stuff to skill shots does make it different, but it doesn't make it unique in any way. And keep in mind, I'm also a person that's like, I don't want a unique mini game or a unique fucking thing to every fucking champion.
Yeah.
You can combine interesting abilities to make a new champion that already exists. I don't care.
Right.
But I don't want an Echo Fighter from fucking Smash Brothers either. Right? Like this is Falco to already existing Star Fox, right? If you're going to do that, at least give me fucking Wolf. So it's somewhat different.
And the difference being between like Smash Bros and like this game is that Sona is going to actually suffer by Seraphine being in the game, because if you ever pick Sona, you're essentially just trolling, because you should be picking fucking, or if you pick Sona, you're trolling because you should be playing Seraphine.
Well, I mean, I guess the answer would be like, I don't have hands. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I just wanted to play Sona because I don't have hands. And nobody can say anything. It's like, oh, well, okay, if he can't hit a skill shot, this is probably better.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, realistically speaking, so they changed the kit to be skill shots. Cool. That's only on the Q. W is not a skill shot. It's literally just an aura. So it's exactly the same as Sona, but if double cast, it heals. And then the E is a skill shot. Like
Yeah.
it is a skill shot. So I'm cool with this, right? Like, yeah, you've made Sona more interesting. But again, making Sona stuff skill shots feels like a VGU. It doesn't
Persona.
for Sona, it doesn't feel like a new champion. And
Right.
so Riot says, well, we've played it internally. It doesn't feel the same. Even though everything is similar, it doesn't feel like you're playing the same champion. You don't feel like you're playing Sona. She has a unique space. This champion has a unique space. When they talked about them both having the same theme, they said, well, so what if they have the same theme? Tons of stuff has the same theme. We have 2 samurai now, which they have 3. They also have Yi, but they forgot. Uh, like
No,
we
dude,
have
he's a Wuju guy. It's a completely different thing.
totally different
It's
thing.
it's kind of an underground sect. You probably haven't heard of it.
Yeah, I am old. We talked about this. Back
Yeah.
then we just had swordsmen,
Yeah.
you know. But anyway, so like, oh no, we have 2 samurai now. We have Yon and Yasuo, and they're different. And I'm like, are they? Because they feel real similar. But at
I'd
least
say that they're different enough,
they're
honestly.
different
And the fact
enough.
that, and the other fact is that, like, because that was another thing that I was thinking about in response to all of this is like, what is the actual intersection between thematics and gameplay? And it's like, because there are some people who want to say like thematics don't matter. I just care how they play. That's all I care about.
Mhm.
And I don't think that's actually true. I think that the thematics of a champion do matter, you know, maybe not as much in League as in like a fighting game or something. Like I think people get a little bit more attached to fighting game characters sometimes, but like in League it does matter. Like the champion's personality, the champion's like not so much backstory, but like their visual, you know, presentation, like all that shit really does matter, you know.
Yeah.
It like
I mean,
actually
I
makes a
liked
difference.
Thresh largely because of the way he looks and his
Right.
shtick. And
Yeah.
if he was like Johnny Nice Guy with a shepherd's crook, then
Yeah,
I would
exactly.
not be into it.
Yeah, it wouldn't be as fun. It wouldn't be as engaging. And like to me that's the problem is that like you can have champions with similar kits. Like they brought up the like Annie and Brand are both fire mages in that same post. Like
Yes.
yeah, but do Annie and Brand, and yes, they both are like burst mages, you know?
Hmm.
Team fight burst mages. But do they look anything alike even though they have the same fire thematic? No, they're nothing alike. They could not be further from each other
Yeah.
even
Annie
though
is a little
they're both
girl who
fire.
is not herself on fire.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
this isn't.
Her
Yeah.
body's not made out of fire. Like,
Well, it's like,
eh,
oh, well, Anivia is an ice mage, essentially, and so is Lysandra.
yeah, but they're
Okay.
like,
But one's a
and
bird.
they both have somewhat similar kits. They're both control mages that deal in like slowing and like CCing the enemy, which is like another thing is that like you expect an ice mage to have those types of abilities because in video games and in real life, like I guess ice is supposed to make you slower, you know? Whereas you expect fire to be huge burst
Damage.
damage because fire does damage in real life and in video games. Like that's just the commonly established logic of games, you know? And so it's not bad for them to have two music champions, and they could even have two music champions that are supports. But like
Well, like, here's the thought
you
that's
can't
crazy to
just
me. Like, you can't carbon copy a kit and tell me it's new because
no.
it has skill shots. That's bullshit.
And
But
you also can't tell me that nobody at Riot thought like that those two kits were similar. Like that's fucking bullshit. Like they were blindsided by this when they
like,
released. They're like, we didn't think people were gonna think that they were similar.
oh my
Like fuck
god.
off. You
Like, she
knew.
looks like DJ Sona. Like, she's riding
Yeah.
around on a musical instrument table.
Right.
Like, this is exactly the fucking same champion. And the other thing is, like, sound. You have so many directions to take sound as
Yeah.
an attack, right?
Yeah. And she
Like,
even jacked DJ Sona's look. That's so true. Like,
she does. She
oh
looks
my
like
god.
DJ Sona, but K-popped. She looks like
Give
K-pop
me give
DJ
me a
Sona.
folk singer champion, dude. I'd play the shit out of that. That'd be dope.
But like, so this is what pisses me off. Like, look at the hidden sound village in Naruto. If you want to know how many different directions you can take sound attacks,
Hmm.
right? Like, you have
Never
people.
watched Naruto, but I'll take your
Oh,
word for it.
okay. So they have the hidden leaf and the hidden like village hidden in the mist and village
I have
hidden in
never
the
seen an
sand.
episode of
Okay,
or
you should
Naruto, but that makes
really.
sense.
Naruto's pretty awesome. I
Is
give
it?
it. Yeah, it
All right.
really is. It's really good. It actually grows and it's good.
Okay. Okay.
Although you will be committing like forever to watching it because
Well,
they
can I
release
skip the
100 episodes.
filler
Yeah, yeah. There's
Okay.
a there's like a fillerless
Website?
version that
Yeah.
you can. Yeah, and you should, by the way, because the filler is hot garbage. Naruto makes ramen for a day. That was an episode.
I've heard about the infamous Naruto ramen episode, and that has been part of the reason why I haven't watched it.
It's like that shit is terrible. Or like I'm trying to think of some of the other just god awful filler episodes, but they were totally just fucking terrible. But
Anyways,
but I mean, regardless, they had like the main villain made his own village, and it was based on sound. It was like the village, sound village, fucking, and it was sick. Like all the stuff they did, like affecting your inner ear and your balance and your like whatever. Like all these are natural sound related themes, right? And so like why
like it
would
feels like somebody sat down and was like, if we had to make as many sound-based attacks as possible, what would they
we do?
be?
Right?
Like
Like
in a
so like
realistic setting, like
yeah.
how would you actually fuck someone up with sound?
So like we have blind as a mechanic, why don't we have deafen or distortion?
Yeah.
Right? Like where like like if you've ever been clapped by like a bell, like somebody set off like a loud church bell near you, you know what the symbiote in fucking Venom goes through. It is disorienting. It does damage. You are stunned. You are disoriented. Like everything about it is unpleasant, right?
Like maybe you lose your HUD or something, or like you can't see your
Yeah, or
cooldowns
like
or
the
something.
screen
Just whatever.
blurs or
Yeah,
whatever,
just
and it
there's a million
gradually
things you can
comes.
do.
Like that would be actually a pretty cool mechanic because you could still kind of play, but it wouldn't be like blind is.
Like let me fucking shout out another game that's not like a multiplayer game, but like in Near Automata, which is like a fucking awesome game if you're into like bullshit JRPGs. I mean, it's fucking sick. But anyways, they're like androids in the game, and you get attacked by viruses, and then it like actually fucks up your screen view. So like your health bar will like glitch out or something in the middle of a fight if you're affected by a virus. It's like shit like that. Like there's a lot more directions that you can go than just blind, stun, knock up, slow, fucking silence.
Yeah,
And
and I mean,
charm.
and it would be perfect to do that kind of shit with utility.
Yeah.
It's like there's tons of directions you can take this. That's not. I will copy literally every one of Sona's. I mean, we went through each ability. They're all there. And
It's pretty
then
bad.
Seraphine's got a few more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's not like I combined two and then I added a hard CC, non-ultimate hard CC, and then I added an ultimate that is exactly the same as Sona's but a different shape. Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Like
no, it's very clear that this was a scrapped VGU or again a repurposed VGU, which is so like the fucked up thing is how blatant it is.
Yeah.
It's extremely like blatant, and I think I don't want to say this for sure because I don't know what the fuck goes on at Riot Games. I'm too much from the center of the country to understand what the fuck they're ever like on about, but this feels like the first time. Like I feel like with all their champion designs, they're at least inspired. I will give them that. Like it feels like with a lot of the like some of them are a fucking mess. Like Aphelios should have never fucking made it to this game. That's a fucking Dota champion, and I like Dota. I think Dota's cool, but Dota champions don't belong in League of Legends at all. And but I at least feel like they fucking tried on his design. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there was thought that went into it. It was dumbass thought.
Even
but I feel
Samira
like
could be salvaged.
Samira could be. That's the thing that pisses me. Let me just go on a side rant real quick. That is the thing that pisses me off about these
hold on.
ass champions.
Finish your rant before you go on your side rant. You're
Okay,
on an
fine.
initial rant. We're not gonna go full Lola here and go like rantception
No,
and go
fuck
3
you.
levels deep. I
Fuck
do
off.
that. That is my
Yeah.
stick.
That's your thing?
That's
Okay.
yeah. Your thing is
Understood.
having weird hair. You stick with that.
Stay in your lane,
Stay in your lane, son.
fucker.
Anyway, go on. Go on.
What the fuck was I talking about? Seraphine,
Yeah,
Sona.
uninspired.
Oh yeah, uninspired. Yeah, and like this feels like the first time that I've seen a champion release where the inspiration was genuinely like all marketing based, you know? Like I feel like this champion was conceived of in a boardroom trying to sell as many fucking simp skins as they could, you know, versus like other champions. Like, yes, other champions are bait for the same type of shit. Like fucking Ari and Lux and whoever the fuck else. Like half the female champions in this game are bait for the same type of shit. So they can make a Star Guardian skin and sell a bajillion copies. I get it. But no champion before this has really felt to me like the entire design process was centered around making as much money off of selling cosmetics as they possibly
I'm
could.
gonna back up. To me, that was Star Guardian. I'm literally
Oh, no, no, but
selling
that's
you. I'm
no, no, but
literally
that's
selling you Sailor Moon skins.
oh no, 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 for sure. But those are skins. Those aren't
Yeah,
champions.
yeah. No, I get you. I'm saying that like to me, that is the feeling I got from the whole Star Guardian thing,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then they
yeah.
tried to make it into like a mini game, and that was cool. Like you're keeping it fresh. I don't even complain about that. I didn't complain about Star Guardians at all. It
Yeah,
just wasn't super appealing to me, but at the same time, okay, you're doing something that's appealing to somebody else. Not everything's going to resonate with me, right?
yeah,
But I was fine with Star Guardians. This feels like I agree with you. It's
yeah.
blatantly uninspired attempt to capture that.
And you know what? Star Guardian skins make a bajillion fucking Ari skins. I don't give a shit about that. Like, I haven't bought RP in fucking however many years now. I'm probably never going to buy RP again. I don't care what they do with the skin department, you know? Like, I've had my fill. I'm done buying, like, League of Legends skins, you know? And so, as someone with no dog in the hunt, in that particular hunt, I just get pissed off when it starts to leak into the gameplay, you know,
All
which
right.
it always has with like champions being conveniently buffed right before a skin release, you know, like it's always been there, but like an entire champion's design being dictated by a marketing cycle is pretty
Well,
fucked in my
and on
opinion.
top of that, like all of this, like this would just be pretty sus, right? I mean, it's all pretty sus, if not for the fact that the Twitter account underscores that this is exactly what they were trying
Oh
to do.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So, I mean, that's what bothers me about it, probably more than anything is, and it would be one thing if you did this and then released a unique champion.
Right.
Then I'd be like, okay, you tried a new thing. It's not my thing, but at least whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's fresh.
No.
This is not fresh. This is
No.
prepackaged, sold in a fresh way.
Yeah.
I hate it.
It's all smoke and mirrors. There's nothing substantial about it.
I have never felt more like you've just bargain binned a champion together than this.
No. Yeah, and that's the thing is like so and that brings us perfectly to the rant that I was about to have, which is like so many of these champions that they've come out with are like actually interesting. Like and I've been vocally against the mini gamification of League of Legends for many years now. I've been vocal about that. I was vocal about that on my fucking podcast, League of Legends Radio. That was however many years ago. Like I've complained about this shit for ages, but there are some champions that actually do it right. Like I wasn't a big
Jin,
fan of Jin with the 4 shots. Great, cool little mechanic, cool thing. It makes sense with his gameplay. It makes sense with his
Graves
lore. Graves,
with
another
his
good one.
reload mechanic. That
Although they've had a fucking hard time balancing that champion, but that's really more because of his like true grit, like armor stacking and like all the other bullshit than just like the reload mechanic, you know? Like
mhm,
um what's another one? Let's give an example of one that I hate. Kindred marks. I
mhm.
fucking hate that mechanic. It's really shitty in my opinion. Like just let
Bard
me telegraph.
chimes.
Yeah, Bard chimes. Not a huge fan of that either. Like I like Bard's kit a lot, but I don't like the whole chime collecting aspect. I kind of would have rather him just get randomly empowered auto attacks or something boring, you know?
Well, I think if they had just spawned them in like a remotely accessible, like I don't know, But regardless, I actually like the collect chimes get stronger aspects to it. I
Uh-huh.
dislike the fact that you force me to roam into an area that I don't really need to be in order to
Right.
collect a mini game. And then on top of that, they spawn and then they throw them while I'm collecting one that's way off. Two more will spawn that are even further off.
Yeah. Well,
And then it's like I
it feels
lose.
like you're taking a break from League of Legends to play fucking PvE for like 15 seconds, you
Yeah, and
know?
I don't like that. It takes away from the gameplay when you're giving me
Right.
a non-gameplay objective.
And literally Kindred is I think Kindred is such a fun champion. I really like her kit, but I will not fucking play that champion because I hate the mark system so much. But anyways, so what I was gonna say is like the Samira whole like S rank thing, like getting the rank if you like weave your autos and abilities. I actually think that's a cool mechanic. I actually like that mechanic a lot. I think it's really interesting. I think there's a lot you could do with that. Uh, but then they have to fucking make her kit like even like her like melee and ranged trade-off thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, you know? Like
Hmm.
having her Q have two different forms. Like you have the short range one that does more damage and the long range one that does less damage. I think that's totally fine.
Yep.
I have no problem with that. But it's then they just
I think it's super cool because it's the whole concept of Samira was ripped off of Devil May Cry.
yeah, that was their whole thing. Was
And
like they intended it to be that
that's
way.
fine because that's why she has a knock up on her
Yeah,
deal
her
is
auto
because of
if they're
Devil May
CC'd.
Cry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but then they
Which is
just
by
like
the way unnecessary and needs to be removed. But go
yeah,
on.
no. That was another thing that was fucked up about her release was like, why is that a mechanic in this game? It doesn't. She's already got a 3 paragraph passive. It doesn't need to have another thing. And then her just being broken beyond belief when she was released. It was insane. I played one fucking Samir game when on the day that she went live before the hotfix, and I literally 1v5 pentakilled twice. Well, actually, one time I didn't get the pentakill, but I won, and I would have pentakilled if they hadn't gotten away. The other time, I told my entire team to stand back, walked in, and 1v5 pentakilled in their base. 1v5. Not 1v1v1v1v1, not them trickling into me.
Yeah,
Their
no,
whole team bum rushed me,
I
and then
watched
I
the
killed all of
recording of
them.
that. He killed the entire team by himself and had hit points left over in the end.
Yeah. Why? Why would you make that champion so fucking broken? Like, you cannot tell me that there aren't people that work at Riot that can tell that that shit was like broken beyond relief. Like, do you really not have any high elo players like on your Dallins team? I know that somebody knows better at Riot,
I
and
feel
and
like
that's the
though okay,
problem.
so let me back up. I feel like there's a devil's advocate role to be played here because
Okay.
the problem is high elo players come with high elo like attitudes about the game that I think are not constructive to actually balancing. So like they're gonna do something like, oh well, there's a trade-off here. She's weak in this point. You could take advantage of that. If you were good, you'd just take advantage of that elsewhere. The
My
problem is, I don't think she actually has those things.
my counterpoint to that would be that sometimes it's so blatant that every high elo player would be in agreement, and this was one of those cases. Samira's release was one of probably the most broken release I've seen in League of Legends in my time playing. I can't think of one that was worse. I heard Xin Zhao was horrible, but that was before I started playing.
Yeah. So for me, that would just to wrap around because I already talked about Magic the Gathering a little bit, but like the slang for if there's ever a broken anything in Magic that's like a creature is, well, it dies to removal. Right? Like that's always what they say is like, oh, just put in a card that kills it and then you're fine. It dies to removal. Right? And
Yeah.
that is true. You need those cards in every deck to be able to do something about a problem that's on the board. But like I feel like that's a justification that's just too easy. Right?
Yeah.
Like if something is obviously busted, it's obviously busted. It doesn't matter if you have like yes, of course it'll die to removal, right?
Yeah.
But
It's like saying you beat Samira when her Nexus explodes.
yeah,
Like, yeah, that's true.
or if you just go 7-0 on her, she's not even a problem.
Yeah.
Like, okay, dude, like, but you're releasing her into an ecosystem where she's basically an apex predator, and then you're like, well, you could beat her, I could beat her, and
She'll never hit a 100% win rate.
and so I feel like there's high elo players come with a certain amount of arrogance to them that they will fake like I don't think they want to admit that they couldn't beat it. You know what I
Oh,
mean? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, they'll
yeah,
always
I see what
imagine
you're
a
saying, but
scenario by which they could do it.
if I
And
had to decide between silver players and challenger or grandmaster players balancing the game, I know which direction I would take. You
well,
know?
sure, but what I'm saying is a silver player will cry that everything is broken, even if it has a window to beat it. And
Yeah, my
like,
my answer to that is just like have some fucking what's the word? Delicacy. Have some
yeah,
fucking there's a word that I'm looking for. Nuance. Treat it
mhm.
with some fucking nuance, you know? Like nuance is very important if you're going to be a game designer, I think. Like you have to be able to like read between the lines to do that job effectively. And sometimes I feel like Riot is missing that, and they take very blunt steps, and they don't like this is an example that I've used countless times before, but like the old jungle item after Feral Flare and Wriggle's Lantern for any old head League of Legends players was the stacking Devourer. Do you remember that one?
Mhm.
And it was the stacking jungle items were always a problem. Like basically when you killed camps and champions, you gain permanent like a stat boost, like either more AD or more on hit
More
damage or
attack
whatever.
speed or more whatever, yeah.
Right. And so there was this old attack speed back when you could play farm junglers. And so that's how you know how fucking long it's been. Back when like just farming
Are
the
you talking about
jungle.
Feral Flare?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about after Feral Flare. I'm talking about Devour. Because
Okay.
Feral Flare was bullshit. Feral Flare would scale infinitely. So you could scale past 6 items with Feral Flare because you could just keep killing jungle camps. And if you got to like an insane amount of stacks, you were just unkillable. Like you would be so fucking strong. And you would keep scaling after every other champion couldn't scale, you know?
Mhm.
And that was broken. It was fucked up. I abused it a lot when it was a thing. It was bad. And then they came out with this what I thought was the most elegant fix to it imaginable was they came out with this Devourer item, which would cap out at 30 stacks. So it was like once you get 30 stacks, you're not scaling anymore, but it does become the best jungle item at 30 stacks. Like it's going to be way stronger than the health or AD or AP jungle
Right.
item
When you get there.
when you get there,
Mhm.
you know, but you have to, but it's weaker before you get to that point, you know? So it's a trade off. You're playing a scaling champion. You want better late game damage. You can pick this up, but you're not going to get the benefit up front. And then, but they gave it that dumbass Ginsu's effect where it would like affect your every other hit. They gave it that when it hit 30 stacks instead of just giving it a flat, like, let's say 70% attack speed or something, you know? They
Mhm.
gave it that weird passive that was really hard to balance and made a bunch of champions broken. And then instead of being like, oh, I guess it's this passive that's the problem, they're like, nope, it's the whole fucking item. Just give them fucking percent health damage on hit or something. And it's like, that's such a fucking dumb. You're using a hammer instead of a chisel to fix that problem. You know,
Mhm.
it makes no
Yeah.
sense to me. That was one decision by them that I could never get behind because the capped stacking mechanic was perfect for that niche, and they just fucking obliterated it for no reason. I fucking hate the attack speed jungle item now. Like that shit's so fucking boring and lame. Like, ugh, such a fucking annoying item. Like
Yeah.
4% on hit damage or whatever. Like, who the fuck cares, you know?
Mhm.
But anyways, I
But
think
yeah, so
yeah,
Samira also would be balanced if you took away circular wind wall.
yeah.
Why does
Why
that
the fuck?
exist?
Why the fuck? Just give her another damage ability. She's an ADC. It's
Well,
fine.
it's just like Pantheon. Why is he better at shielding than Braum, a champion designed around a shield as being his thing?
Everybody Google what year Braum was released and then Google what year Pantheon was reworked if you want the answer to that enigma.
But I mean, like Pantheon's E is all around better than Braum's.
Yeah, you can move faster. It fully blocks damage.
Yeah, including
Uh
tower shots,
yeah, of course. Uh
and yeah, it just does everything better. So why?
on a diving AD champion.
Yep,
That ability is why Pantheon can be taken support right now and is so good at it.
yep.
Like that ability is the only reason why that's a thing. And
Well,
so
that
that's
and the
my thing with like,
murder cues, where you do
sure,
like double damage at low health. That too.
sure. I mean, I'm not saying he could be played support before, but he was not anywhere near this good at it. I mean, he could still block tower shots and stuff, but like you had more counterplay with the old version. because you could auto him and then make him take tower shots or whatever. But
well, you blocked one tower shot. That
well,
was
you could block 2 if you stacked it up beforehand and then used your W under tower. You could block 2 still.
Yeah,
So I'll give him
well, I'm
that.
just saying you had to stack though. But
yeah, there was more. It wasn't just press E in a direction and then hide
like
behind your shield.
hunker down.
Yeah,
300.
Hunker down was not yet an ability in the game.
So, but anyway, that being said, I feel like there's a lot of bloat and power creep on new stuff because like Michael was like he's been really frustrated lately with like solo queue and whatnot because he played like Tryndamere and it's like, oh well, I'm just auto outclassed by any champion that's been released in the last 2 years.
Yeah, which I mean, you can still win those games. Blah blah blah. It just feels really fucking annoying to see Set get this 1200 HP shield on a basic fucking ability. You know, like that shit feels really fucking annoying to play against, like in any context, in my opinion. Like I don't know why a 1200 HP shield should ever be on a fucking champion that on a basic ability on a champion that's not even a tank, you know? Like I get that it decays relatively quickly, but like let's talk about Riven. Years ago, Riven's shield would last forever when she casted it. And then they realized, like, oh, this shit is really fucking bad for a bruiser to have. Let's tone down her shielding. Let's gut her health regen. Let's not make her a defensively viable champion, you know, because that's not what role she's supposed to fill. And it's just really frustrating. I don't want to even get into this right now, but like my problem, just to sum things up, is that with champions like Samira, they take a good concept and even a good gimmick. I think that the ranking thing is a good gimmick.
I agree.
Actually genuinely like it.
Yeah, I do too.
But then they add so much stupid bloat and bullshit into the kits that it detracts from the entire champion for no reason whatsoever, you know? And Samira could have been a great skill-based ADC, or even I think she should have been an assassin personally. I think that her kit makes more sense as an assassin, or even like a bruiser. I wouldn't have minded seeing her kit. I don't understand why they made her an ADC. But you know, that's a philosophical discussion.
It's kind of hard to do an assassin when you like progress through a whole bunch of rankings.
Yeah, no, to me she feels more like a bruiser personally. Like, or she feels like her kit should have been a bruiser because she like ramps up over time, and you know, like that just would have made more sense to me as a melee bruiser personally.
Yeah.
And then you could also give her more bullshit because she'd be a melee champion, you know? Like you can give melee champions a little bit more bullshit than you can give ranged champions.
I mean, to me she feels like, okay, this is weird, but kind of like a Gangplank more than, you know what I mean? Like
more than Riven.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't play Gangplank ADC.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She should have been like a Gangplank. Whatever category you shove Gangplank into, it makes sense to have her be like that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But like, because it's like you have range and you have close, and Gangplank has close and he has a range Q that shoots you. You know, it's the same deal.
Yeah. Like maybe after you get like a certain amount of stacks on your passive, you become a ranged champion or something, and like that persists until you leave combat, you know? So it's not like you're poking people out of lane with auto attacks, but if you get in there and do your thing, then you become like an ADC and you're a lot more powerful or something, you know? Like there was a lot they could have done with the character without just resorting to let's make her do additional CC on CC targets for no reason, you know? Let's fucking let's throw this random
because
bullshit
thematically we're copying Devil May Cry and he does that in his combos.
Oh my god,
that's why they did it.
I know that's why they did it, and I just don't want to acknowledge it. I can't even fucking process that I know that's why they did it. It's so stupid to copy something that's like an important gameplay mechanic because of an homage to a fucking anime beat 'em up. It makes no fucking sense. But
this is the world
like as if the whole ranking thing wasn't enough of a fucking reference. Like Jesus Christ, Riot.
Yeah, no, I agree. But it's like
the ranking thing would have been enough of a reference
that everybody who played Devil May Cry would have gotten that, and they would have been like, "Hey, all right,
this is kind of cool. I like this champion."
Yeah, but then they took it 2 steps too far, and then it becomes an issue of like, how do you strip things out of a kit when people are already attached to it? And the answer is you don't.
You can always add more, but you like this is an analogy I use a lot. Is like if you've played sports, when you have a coach, If your coach is too nice to you at the beginning of the season, you're not going to respect them. But if they're a complete hard ass early in the season, they can soften up later on because they've earned your respect. You know, to me, it's the same thing as like if you give a champion too much at the beginning and then try to take some of it away, people are going to be pissed. But if you take a champion like Bard, who was dog shit on release, and then keep giving him stuff, then eventually people will like the place where he's at. Because I don't see anyone complain about Bard. You know, I think he's one of the more like well received champions.
After his initial dumpstering, yes.
Yeah, and I don't think they should release champions in a dumpster tier. Like I think Bard was an extreme example of a shitty fucking champion on release. But I would rather have shitty champion than fucking broken ass 1v5 bullshit.
Well, then lose a ban every release.
Exactly.
Because that's
what happens
now.
Like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Because it's like I used to ban Aphelios, and now Aphelios doesn't get banned because Samira does. And granted, Aphelios has been like nerfed several times. Still think it's kind of an issue with the kit. I think
the kit is fucking horrible.
I think you're in like an Akali scenario where it's just like you do too much and you have too much mobility and too many things that like you've gone beyond the role of this is simple, readable, and I understand what you're going to do. When you have 300 dashes, they can take you in any different direction. Like, that's a problem.
Yeah.
But, I mean, realistically, I think Samira is fucking cool. I like Katarina. I think that's a cool champion. And she has 300
And people
blinks.
were comparing Katarina and Samira, and I mean, I get it, but I really don't think they play similarly at all in my experience of playing.
No, I don't think they do.
And see that, and let's talk about that. Because Samira could have been to Katarina what Seraphine is to Sona. Mm-hmm. Similar in many ways, but they play completely differently. And I don't think that's what they actually achieved. Shut the fuck up, Exiles. Don't fucking say that I have the voice of LS. I'll fucking kill you.
I can't even do it. Do your LS. Do an LS impression. Do it in an Australian accent.
No, I'm not going to. I'll do my LS impression. Okay. Why are they going top lane right now? I don't understand why they're hitting top lane right now. That makes no sense for this game. Why the fuck are they itemizing Roa in this game? That's actually that's so dumb. I don't understand it. I fucking love Korean plastic surgery. Can we fucking like, can we actually talk about this? Like, why are they not freezing right here? That's actually like so crazy that they're not freezing right here. That's actually insane.
You know what's weird is
what?
You RLS, you just talk slower. Like your impression of LS is just you talking quicker. And that's it. Like you talk quicker and more punchy, whatever. Harder emphasis and quicker talk. Anyway, so Exiles, you're onto something, dude. You got him.
Fuck you.
Anyway, so I do want to talk about one more thing that if this fucking new champion release wasn't bungled fucking enough, they released her with an ultimate skin, which irritates the ever-living shit out of me because those are supposed to be like amazing once a year fucking blow them out of the water.
Which is another thing that makes us like fully buy into the whole like this was a champion created to sell merchandise.
Yep.
This is just one more piece to that puzzle. Yep. You know?
So they drop her like and keep in mind you're in comparison to things like Pulsefire Ezreal, Spirit Guard Udyr or whatever, the Sona DJ Sona, and Elementalist Lux. These are the skins that, like, for perennial league champions, that this is an important character in our game. These are the characters that people are really attached to. And
alternatively, this is Udyr's actual VGU. Give us $30, you dumb fucks.
Right. Udyr is kind of a unique
champion.
Udyr is kind of a unique twist, but all the other ones like Ezreal, Lux, and whatever.
Sona.
These are perennial champions that people are attached to, that they play, that they had a really cool idea for, and they wanted to make it something that's going to transition. Seraphine, they sell us 3 skins that are bundled, but as one, and they're unlockable, and as an ultimate skin, and are unlockable. They don't transition like Lux does. Like Lux has one skin that becomes another skin in game by choice, and you have multiple options to change what element you're gonna
Yeah,
do or
Element.
what.
I fucking hate every Lux skin because they just like years ago stopped giving a shit about like visual clarity on new Lux skins for whatever reason. So all her fucking abilities look the same. But
Mm.
other than that, I think it's a dope concept. But Jesus Christ, Riot, please fucking go back to making the fucking skins have like similar animations to the base because the shit is like infuriating trying to play against Lux when she's got any one of like 8 of her skins. They all look the same.
Well, like the new Dragon Lee Sin looks fucking weird, but and
Oh
it's
yeah.
hard to even distinguish. But that being said, like this pisses me off because what this is 3 skins of a character at a different stage in life that's unlockable with a quest.
Which is
I
also weird because her stages in life are so fucking boring.
They are, and they're incredibly stage 2 and stage 3 are incredibly similar.
Oh my
So like
god.
stage
Well,
1,
yeah,
I'm
tell
at
me.
home and I look comfortable in my oversized sweater. Teehee. I have pink hair. Stage 2, I have half pink hair and half blue hair, and I look like
Half pink, half blue?
a
PogChamp?
singer now because I am in half stage regalia. Phase 3, I'm a full-on pop star with blue hair with purple highlights, and I look like I'm in KDA now. Hooray!
Woo!
Let's tweet
KDA
about it.
PogChamp! Woohoo!
My queen. Anyway, let's tweet,
We
right?
stand a legend, Blake.
And
We stand a legend.
and literally, as you play this champion, you unlock the other 2. The difference is your character, even if it were like levels 1 through 6, you're stay at home, I'm not famous. Then level 7 through 11, you are like I'm a pop singer.
I'm getting there.
I'm getting there. You're a singer. And then level 11 through 18, you made it. You're
Yeah.
KDA.
Mhm.
And then your skin just changes throughout the game. I'd be like, okay, that's kind of like what you did with Lux. You kind of recycled. But yeah, okay, not a lot of skins do that. That's probably ultimate level. Fine. That is not what this is. You pick one skin of those 3 before the game, and that is the skin that you have throughout the game. You might recognize that mechanic from every other skin in League of Legends.
Oh, and by the way, this is just a side note to this whole thing, but it's banned in Brazil because it's illegal to charge someone something and then force them to like unlock it apparently.
No, it's bundle. You bundle
Oh,
things with something else. So like
gotcha.
you can't sell a Happy Meal as a bundled product because you can't buy the toy without buying the Happy Meal.
Interesting.
That's why. So
Interesting.
this you can't buy Seraphine 2 or 3 without buying Seraphine 1 and then unlocking the other 2.
I see.
So
Very interesting.
that's what it is, right? So and I suppose if McDonald's sold their toys separately, right? And there's
Yeah.
some legalese to that in Brazil. From what I understand, it's okay to sell something for a price and then also give a gift.
Ah,
And so
interesting.
that's the loophole to get around all this is you say, well, the other 2 are just gifted bonus,
Yeah.
But then again, how is that any different from a Happy Meal as a bonus toy?
Yeah.
But whatever.
I'm
So
sure they've got it worked out. We're not experts of the Brazilian legal system.
no, but logic is strong here.
Sure.
So, but that being said, like this, like I will get this skin because I will combine 3 skin shards to get it because that's
Because
what
this
I do.
motherfucker owns every skin in the
Well,
game.
no, I mean that's what I do. So that's not going to be a problem for me. But I would be really pissed off. Like one, I'm pissed off that they gave an ultimate skin to a new release. That pisses
Honestly,
me off.
I mean, I get it. I honestly don't even care about that. It's just, it sounds like it's very low effort and like shitty, and that's more what I'm upset about. Like, I get the argument for not wanting that, and I honestly don't disagree with it. But
You
it's
have
just
it.
one of those
Hold
things
on.
that
Why would you waste an ultimate skin on a champion that has no fan base, no player base?
oh, she's got a
Well,
fan
okay,
base.
she's got a. Okay, you understand what I mean though, but no, like, You have
Yeah.
no. Tell me, name
I'm a
one
Seraphine main.
Seraphine main. There
Yeah.
isn't because nobody's even played the fucking champion, and yet we have the once a year skin goes to a champion that nobody has fucking played. That's a carbon copy of another champion.
Yeah, I guess if you're looking at it as like Seraphine getting the ultimate skin instead of another champion, then I understand
That's
what you're
what I
saying.
am looking at it as because it
Yeah.
goes out to one champion a year, and that
To
is
me,
like
I just
an
think of it as
honor of
like,
sorts.
to me, I just assume that they have so many fucking artists working for them because that's what actually makes them their money. That I just assume that it's like part of the development process. You know what I mean? Where I don't really see it as like Seraphine's getting the skin instead of another champion. I just kind of see it as like Seraphine is also getting this, and then we'll also give it to another champion. But if you're not, if
Mm-mm.
you don't see it that way, then I
No,
get it.
there's definitely opportunity cost because I don't remember how many years ago. I think it was 3 years ago. I think it
Mhm.
was with DJ Sona actually that they announced that they would only do one ultimate skin a year. So
Interesting.
to put it in context, this is 2020.
That's a pretty fitting way to cap off this year, though, don't you think? I think Riot just memed us all.
Yeah, probably accurate. But I mean, like the whole thing just, and then to have the skin also just be 3 skins
hmm
is fucked up. Like, you know what that is? That's a bundle. You've just sold a bundle. There's nothing ultimate about that. The fact that you unlock it with a quest makes it an annoying bundle.
I honestly think that like I could have seen if it was like the what you were talking about with like her evolving as the game progresses. I still think it's boring and it's definitely not for me, but I could at least see that being like a quote unquote ultimate level skin.
Hmm.
But like,
Well,
god,
okay.
I would also see that being like that concept could be so much cooler for like a better champion design. Like someone like who goes on an actual epic quest and then you have like the young like kind of like Kane
Kind of like,
almost,
I was going to say, like Kane,
but with a
except you,
skin.
yeah,
Like you have him as like the young traveler and then the sword and then the master and then the elder statesman or whatever the fuck, you know? Like you could do that with a
you
champion.
know,
That would
it'd
be
actually
cool.
be cool to do that with Yasuo.
Yeah, that'd be
And like
cool.
he
I'd be down
starts
for
off
that.
as like a young samurai, and then he gets more grizzled,
And
and
then he like
then
loses his hair piece because he gets
right,
fucking exiled or whatever,
and
like
then in the
Zuko.
end he has like one of those rice hats with like a slit in it, and he just
Yeah,
looks like I'm fucking sick of this shit, and I'm
yeah.
old, and I have tattered robes, but I look fucking badass, like,
Uh-huh.
and that's level like 14 plus Yasuo
Yeah.
or something. But here, that'll never happen because here's why. They actually said in the release that the reason that her skins don't evolve is because the last time they're doing that is with Elementalist Lux. Because they are afraid that it will put too much strain on people's PCs to
Mm,
have skins that do that. Like apparently it takes up more resources.
that makes sense.
And that does make sense.
It's a good
And
reason
I
not to do it,
I understand that people have potatoes and that
especially in like developing countries where League
yeah,
is popular because you can run it on potatoes. So
right.
that's fine.
And so I understand that and that makes sense. Like that's logical to me. But this being the answer to that problem, like come on, guys. Like
Yeah, no,
this
it's
is
pretty
a
shitty.
skin bundle. It's
Yeah.
just 3 skins and you made it a skin bundle where I pay for the entire bundle, but I don't actually get what I pay for until I do a quest?
Yeah.
What about
Okay,
unlocking
I know
content
this.
do you
I know
think is
this.
fun? It's
I know
not
this.
fucking fun. Like, I don't enjoy that in Smash. I don't enjoy that
No.
elsewhere. Like, I don't want to play a battle against a computer. It doesn't feel like an epic moment to
Yeah.
me.
I.
You know, do you know what I mean?
uh,
Like, I'm not like,
no, I'm with
oh
you.
my god, a mystery champion has approached and now I have this one shot to beat Greninja. And I'm like, this is so tense. I feel so accomplished. Like, no,
Yeah.
it's an annoyance. Like,
Yeah.
unlock the fucking champion. Anyway,
Yeah. And this is just one. I know this podcast is way too long at this point,
no, we're
but I.
making this a double episode. This is now this week and last week's episode because
Oh, fair enough.
yeah,
Okay, that makes sense. Simp technology can be episode 1. That'd be sick. But so another thing that I've just wanted to rant about forever is, and this is another thing that I don't really care that much about, but it sucks, is fucking stupid ass gameplay related quests that make you perform a specific action in League of Legends, like taking a Baron or getting 3 dragons in one game. What the fuck are you doing, Riot? You said years ago that the reason why your LP and MMR are not tied to individual performance is because it's impossible to track things like that accurately in a game as dynamic as League of Legends. Like, someone can have a fucking. I've had games where I have a dog shit KDA, but I still carried the fuck out of a game, because I
Yes.
backdoored the Nexus or whatever the fuck. Like,
As a support main, I'm familiar with that
you're
concept.
familiar with the feeling? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and then they have all these dumbass quests like take 3 barons, and it's like, so you're gonna have me like this, and I noticed this most acutely when I was leveling a new account and I was playing bot games, and someone was like, don't end the game before 20 minutes. I have to take a baron for my quest. And I'm like, fuck your baron quest, dude. I'm ending the game at 14 minutes like I end every fucking bot game when I'm trying to level an account. And that's the thing, is like they're promoting a suboptimal play style in the sake of like getting your quests done. Like, there are games where waiting for baron is the wrong fucking call and you should try to go for the end. It's not always the case, but there are times when it happens. Or you should go for the dragon instead of a baron. Or you like should make, whatever decision. It's like don't fucking say one thing and then do it in a different context. Don't say that like you can't actually analyze gameplay just from like a computer's perspective and tell whether or not optimal League of Legends was played. Like, it's fucking bullshit, Fuck those quests. That shit is real fucking annoying, in my opinion.
Yes, I agree. I actually had to agree with you twice because I had muted my mic while I was chewing ice, and then I was like, "Yeah, man, you're right," and then it's like, "Oh shit." Yes, I agree. But like I said, everything. Honestly, everything about this champion feels like grimy. Like I feel like it's being marketed in a weird, like appealing to, like you're taking advantage of your target audience. You're not trying to appeal to them. Like that's my problem.
Right.
Is like I'm not like it's like selling stuff that is going to be attractive to people who don't have the ability to say no or the wherewithal to say no. And I'm not saying that like simps are necessarily that. I'm like, what I'm saying is there's a reason why selling heroin is illegal, right? And it's like you have addicts, or like there's a reason why people despise cigarette companies is because they're selling an addictive product.
Even though what they're doing is legal and
yeah,
relatively accepted, like,
yeah,
people still don't like it.
people's ability
and people still think it's immoral.
Yeah, it's immoral. And so because you're selling it to somebody you've got by the balls,
dying
like they're an
from your
addict,
product. Yeah.
and you are taking advantage of that addiction in order to make money. Like that's not cool. Like that's not okay. And to me, and I'm not trying to like get on a moral high horse about taking advantage of anime kids or whatever, but this is literally
Well,
I
it's
feel
one
like
thing when
fish hooked.
okay, let me say this. It's one thing when Belle Delphine does it and makes a fucking lewd video and they go crazy for that shit, or makes a fucking Patreon where you can look at pictures of her in a bikini or whatever the fuck. Like, that's one thing. That's one girl doing it. This is a fucking multinational company taking advantage of the same thing in order to turn a profit. It's fucking gross and predatory and weird. And
And you should be able to tell that it's those things based on the comments and feedback you get in the way you're doing it.
Right.
Like you're asking a cartoon what her skincare plan is.
Yeah.
You should know this has gone too far. And I wonder if they
and to me there's just so many other ways that they could have done it. Like, they could have done like a fake fucking, like, they could have done some cringy ass fake interview with like fucking Shocks or whoever, like having an interview with Seraphine or something. You know what I mean? Like, they had fucking Dr. Doofenshmirtz on goddamn Shark Tank selling his fucking Doominator Ray or whatever one time. Like, you could do some fucking dumb shit like that. He's a character from a cartoon show. Sorry.
Okay, so you saw my eyebrow go up
Yeah, I did. I
whenever you
did.
said that. Okay, cool.
Like I'm saying like it's dumb, it's cheesy, but like it's also not
Is
weird
that
and
like what?
predatory.
What cartoon? Phineas and Ferb or
Phineas
something?
and Ferb, yeah.
Okay, I
Which,
figured.
by the way, brings me neatly along. So the reason why I was thinking about that is because it's not fucking enough for Seraphine to like be the your cute anime GF. You know, that's not enough. They also have to like make this product because that's what she is. She's a fucking product. She's not a person. She's not even a character. Like when people get attached to like TV or movie characters, or even like certain video game characters, it's like it's because they resonate with their story. You know, you like build their story over time and people like get attached to that, and because they can like resonate with the champion. But Seraphine is just like the way that they've done her Twitter account is they're just trying to circumvent any actual work, any actual narrative for like, haha, she's so relatable, and they're just trying to like essentially shortcut her way into your fucking heart, you know? And like, here's a perfect fucking example. I got two examples actually. So there's this tweet again referencing Phineas and Ferb. This is a fucking League of Legends character's Twitter account referencing a cartoon from my childhood. Baddie of the week is Dr. Doofenshmirtz. He knew what was up. And then she responded to herself, okay, if we're being real, the true baddie was Vanessa. That's so fucking weird, man. Like, what the fuck are you doing, Riot? Like, she's not real. We all know that she's not real. Like, why are you doing this to us? She's never watched Phineas and Ferb in her fucking life because she doesn't exist. Jesus Christ. And then there was this one that was even more blatant. What was your favorite educational CD-ROM? Mine was Freddy Fish. I remember some people are like, OMG, I love those as a kid. My favorite one was Pajama Sam. That's an actual response. Putt Putt Goes to the Moon. Spy Fox, Humongous Entertainment's Finest. Pajama Sam. OMG, I love Freddy Fish too. Like everyone's just like responding to her because like out of this fucking gut reaction of nostalgia of like CD-ROM drive, and their fucking eyes roll back in their head and they're like, you must remember CD-ROM drives from your childhood. And then they come back out of it and they fucking just, Freddy Fish. And like, that's like the whole fucking interaction. It's so creepy because Seraphine, you've never played Freddy Fish in your fucking life because you were conceived of in late 2019. You fucking weirdo. Like, Jesus Christ. They also had her tweet about Fireflies. The song by Owl City. You would not believe your, you know that song that everyone's heard a million times? And she's like, OMG, I wish I could listen to Fireflies without crying about 7th grade. It's like,
Did she say that?
She said that.
Uh,
Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, why? And it's like, and I remember like vividly, because I have a vivid remembrance of that song because like 3 girls sang it at my school's talent show.
It made you cry in 7th grade.
Yeah, they made me cry for sure. They were all really talented. Exile says it's like they're turning her into that hologram singer from Japan that the guys go crazy for. They probably will have a hologram of her in next year's Worlds. Oh, definitely, dude.
Yeah, they definitely will. That's well, and it's like to me, what to make this not a cringy pile of shit move, make her an actual human being.
Sure.
Have an actual Korean pop star, whoever sings her lines in the KDA song, make that an actual person. Have that person actually connect, and then mirror that into a champion on League of Legends. That's fine. I don't think anybody would have a problem with that. This is like, I don't know, man. It's beyond fucking weird. Like you said, I had never watched Phineas and Ferb. I know of Phineas and Ferb. It's like that big nose, red hair.
Yeah, with a triangle head. Yeah.
Yep. Like, I know of the show. I never watched it because it was after.
Yeah, no, I watched it as a kid, so it was definitely not your time frame. And it wasn't your kids' time frame either. It was too early for them. So I know that you missed it.
So that one I missed. But like, realistically speaking, the fact that like that feels exactly like the kind of fish.
And they also have pictures of her as a kid, which I'm not even gonna get into how fucking creepy that is. Like they made fake family memories of her.
Yeah, why?
Why? For what purpose? Like, and again, I would be fine if it was just like fucking her talking about her world tour and like, here I am in Shanghai, here I am in fucking Tokyo, here I am in Los Angeles performing with the KDA group, and it was just like a series of fucking pictures of
Or
her
like
in
the
like different locations.
yeah,
You
like
know?
the backstage where they're like carrying materials or walking into the show
Yeah,
or
like
whatever. Like
that'd still
just
be a little weird, but I
we're in a
wouldn't care.
band, you know. I'd be like,
Yeah.
all right, cool. But like that kind of stuff, where like the other thing is, keep in mind, none of this is attached to her actual lore. Like
Right.
in the lore,
Wait,
she's
she has
from
lore?
yeah, she's from Piltover and Zon. The champion is from Piltover and Zon,
I
supposedly.
think they should have just gone balls to the wall and just straight up said that she was sucked in through a vortex
Yeah, I
from the
mean,
modern world.
basically make
That would
her
be dope.
like Kagome of the League of Legends.
I don't
You
know what
know,
that is.
Inuyasha.
No.
Do you watch anime, Michael?
Sometimes.
All right. In the show Inuyasha, a girl gets sucked in through like a well and deposited in feudal Japan where like demons and things exist and are running wild. She meets a half demon named Inuyasha. They fall in love, and that's literally the entire arc of the storyline.
All right, that sounds
Um,
dope. I'm gonna watch that.
it's actually all right, and there's some pretty cool characters in it. But the most annoying part is that every time anything happens in that show, he literally shouts her name, and then she shouts his name, and then he shouts her name. So it's like, Inuyasha, Kagome, Inuyasha, Kagome, like over and over and over again, all the time. And this girl is also like the Princess Peach of getting kidnapped.
See, dude,
constantly.
this is the fucking shit that makes me like, because we're not even gonna pretend that we're a fucking League of Legends podcast. We just talked about simps for 40 minutes at the beginning of this shit.
Mhm.
Like, fucking anime always has to have some weird shit that makes me not able to recommend it to people. Like fucking My Hero Academia. I actually like that show quite a bit. Some of it's
Except
like,
for the weird sticky
but then there's
ball-haired
fucking
kid.
Mineta. Fucking Mineta. This motherfucker has to perv out on every girl, and they have to fucking like make a like show of him perving out on every girl. And it's like, I'm not gonna fucking show this to anyone I'm related to.
Yeah,
like
where he's
that
like,
I like.
oh, she has such soft-looking boobies. I'd like to
Yeah,
grab into
exactly.
boobies. And you're
And
like,
it's like,
why? Just cut this character out. He doesn't
yeah,
need to be
why
in there.
is he in the game?
And his
Why is he in the
power
show?
sucks. Like, he has sticky hair. Like, Michael, you have sticky hair. You're not going to a
I have the
superhero
same-
institution.
That's what you think.
I mean, look at that floofy bastard. You
just
could
got a
probably
call
just rip
from-
it off and throw it into the wall. It'd just stick right there. I mean, like, fuck, man. That's not a superpower. It's just bad hygiene.
Yeah, I'm fucking filthy.
No,
with my
not
hair.
you. The character in
Oh,
the
okay.
fucking show. I've moved on.
Oh, okay. My
Yeah.
bad. Keep up.
Yeah, no. You look like you condition.
Yeah, I do. Thank you for noticing.
It shows. It shows.
Thanks.
You have a very healthy shine. Unlike your pale ass skin. You should probably condition
Okay.
your fucking skin. Ask
I don't go
Seraphine what
outside.
she does.
Oh,
You
I
should
should
do
go
that.
after for her skincare routine?
Mm-hmm.
Hey. Hello, my queen. What do you do to keep your skin so soft and supple?
And
It looks delicious.
see, like,
Can you please tell me? Pretty
the-
please?
the level.
What do you do, my queen?
Stop, please stop.
How do you
doing
keep
this.
your skin so soft?
It's
We're going to be together forever. in my
you know what?
dreams.
The creepiest part of this is that not only are you saying all these things, but you like leaned forward to get
Oh, yeah.
intimate with the mic while you were doing it. So it was.
Well, I was hoping they'd be able to hear that
Oh,
with the change in the audio tone.
don't worry, it came through.
Oh, I'm sure it did. Oh, something came through. I'll tell you that much.
And welcome to the podcast, Double Sniffed. Basically, that was a double sniff
Basically.
joke for sure.
Well,
So, like I said, that being said, this whole thing is just fucking weird, and I don't approve of it in any way. I don't approve of the champion design in any way because you've repackaged a champion. I don't approve of the ultimate skin going to her, or that it is an ultimate skin when it's essentially a 3-skin bundle, and none of the skins are particularly inspired either.
but Blake, she go from normal girl to singer girl.
Mm-hmm.
That's a. Can
Actually,
I get
she
a?
goes from normal girl to singer girl to another singer girl.
Well, that's true. My bad.
Yeah.
Can I
So
get a? Can I get a poggers in the chat for that? For Seraphine going from singer to singer 2.0.
she goes from
Poggers in the
relatable
chat.
purple hair, or relatable pink hair. But pink hairs never win, so they go to blue hairs. The blue hairs win. So she is a blue hair, and then she wins.
Oh my god, it's so
Fucking
dumb.
all of the anime tropes in this.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Like super disappointed in Riot. We've hit the 2 hour mark. We should
When have we
do
not been disappointed in Riot?
well. I don't want to be. You know what I mean? So let's
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about
yeah.
that because like we get a lot of guff for like dogging on
I don't
Riot
think you've
so
gotten as
much.
much guff as I got on my podcast because I went ham on those motherfuckers on the reg, and I got shit on for it in some of my reviews.
Right. But I mean,
But yeah,
shit, man.
anyways,
Like, we get a ton of shit from
really.
people like, oh, yeah, like, you're so negative, blah, blah,
Well,
blah, blah,
see, and
blah.
that and can I even like go like before we have this conversation, I want to have a different conversation that's
Yeah,
short
yeah, hit
of
it.
like I think that we live in a bubble of sorts of like people who are invested in League of Legends when they're not playing it, you know? Like we go on the subreddit sometimes and we like actually dedicate time to thinking and talking about the game and like analyzing it and like just my fucking cat's about to knock this shit over. I'm just gonna hold it. And like just making it more part of our life. Fucking lift her out of here. Making it more a part of our lives than just like something that we play and then immediately stop thinking about when we're done, you know? And so like I wonder how much of a bubble we are in as people that are invested with like the whole like when Reddit fucking starts crying about Seraphine's like having the same kid as Sona, does the average player like even remotely give a shit, you know? Because I haven't been that player in so many years. I don't even like really, and most of the people that I'm friends with are not that player, you know? It's like hard for me to like, I don't know what the percentage is. Like, do most people just not give a shit at all if her kid is the same thing as Sona's and if her ultimate skin is bullshit? And like, we're the only ones that care, or like the more hardcore players, or do like actual people care? That's just a thing I was wondering. Cheryl, shut up.
I think
That's
actual
just a thing I
people
was
care. I
wondering.
don't think it's just a Reddit thing. I think actual people care. I was talking to a friend of mine who's like Iron 4 and has been playing for a few. I mean, he's bad, but he's
Yeah.
been playing for a few years. And he said, did you see the new champ and how stupid that is? Like his words to me right off the bat. And I said,
Yeah.
actually, yes, I did. And yes, you are correct. Like it is super annoying that that is a thing, right?
Yeah.
And I can say with some confidence that like yes, people notice.
Okay.
You know, but at the same time like I don't know I don't know how much that it is
How much
like
does it affect the bottom line? You
right.
know, I
And I
would
mean,
guess very little.
and it's like the people that are like, "Oh, you just vote with your wallet." Like, yeah.
There's always going to be enough people that fucking are going to just buy whatever it is without really thinking about it. And that's fine. Like, I get that if you don't want to fucking make Cheryl, shut up. You fucking psycho. That's my cat, not my mom or something.
Right. His cat is named Cheryl, listeners.
Yeah,
I can
that's her cat.
verify.
That's her name. That's her name. She's gonna 100% knock the shit over right now.
Yeah.
Cheryl, you need to go
Your
away.
camera's going nuts. So I think you
Okay.
threw that cat outside.
I did, but then she started like pawing under the fucking door, and it was gonna start like being really annoying. So I let her in, which is my fault. But yeah, there's always gonna be somebody that's like not gonna give a shit and just buy the fucking Seraphine skin anyways. You know, like it's always gonna happen. And I don't necessarily think that's like a horrible thing or anything, but it's like people who say, vote with your wallet. It's like, well, I can, but that doesn't mean everyone else is going to, you know?
Well, and then like on top of that, so like I talked a little bit about the lore, and then we launched into another thing about anime and like how it's basically like Inuyasha dropped in. But to finish that thought, and then we'll round out the episode, and I've got to do a shout out to some Patreon people. But if they will actually let me log into Patreon, Anyway, because they want me to do a verification, but they're not sending me the verification email, which is super
Of course
annoying.
not.
Because that would make sense and be easy, so I could actually log into the website that I use in order to help people actually pay to support the podcast. Thank you. You know who you are. So,
And we wish we knew who you are.
and I wish I
but
knew who you were, so I could pick a random one of you and thank you right now. But instead, Patreon wants me to suffer, and all of you, apparently, because I have to verify the only device that I use to access Patreon in an email that they won't send me.
By the way, if anyone saw me just make faces of pain, it's because my cat was biting my hand. It's not just because I'm orgasming or something. Just wanted to be clear on
I
that.
would. You make faces of pain when you orgasm. What are you into,
Let's shout out
Michael?
a patron real quick.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
So
I don't fucking know.
so here's what I'm gonna.
Thief Ross saw it.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna pick one from the Discord. Stale. Thank you for
Thank you,
supporting the
Stale.
podcast. This is your episode devoted to
We-
you. And
we
because
appreciate
it's
it.
a double episode, I'm gonna pick somebody else too. Pract YC. Thank you for supporting
you.
the podcast.
Thanks, buddy.
You're the man. This is half of your episode as well. You're gonna share it with Stale.
And you're gonna
so
like it.
You're gonna love that because this back half, the part that was like less bitchy, that's yours. Stale gets the front half. So
The half
anyway,
that was talking about fucking simps for 45
yeah,
minutes.
that part, the part that was classic Lola distracted bitching, that's Stale's.
Yeah.
This part that you might have
Because
actually
it is
enjoyed,
stale.
that's us, and that's for you. So anyway, so yeah, guys, that being said, thank you Patreons for supporting the show. We're actually doing enough right now, although I am still somewhat worried about the bottom line, but that's fine. We're doing enough right now that the podcast is afloat and we meet our ends meet, so I'm not in a rad panic, and you all have been nice enough to support us on the Discord, upping the server bumps to tier 2 so we have better streaming quality and that kind of stuff, which is amazing for the community because the podcast literally exists to support the community. The community is what the heart of Lowell is. So thank you guys. And the one thing I will say that I do want to make a shout out is like for all you people that have been nervous about the idea of joining the community and hanging out in the Discord because it's like you don't know people or you'd feel weird or whatever, stop. Just come.
And like we said at the beginning of this episode when we were talking about our German fan Adrian, I will not flame you until the third game that we play together. So if you're worried about that,
yeah, you get a three flame window. But like no, we had Adrian came in and then like another guy came in and played with us that he was super cool. Like him and his buddy are big fans of the show. And
Hyper, our New Zealander, our Kiwi fan. Shout out to him.
Yeah. And so that was Noodle that I was thinking of. So shout out to Noodle too for coming in. He said he was super nervous with the idea of like coming in and just randomly chatting with us. And I was like, why? Just come hang out. And then we played like several games together and had a great time. So don't be scared. Just pop in and join. That's how we grow. Right?
Yeah.
And so, yes, of course, we want you to come. Okay? On an unrelated side note, I will be policing the Discord a little bit more. So, like, if you are inappropriate, making people feel super uncomfortable, or using racial slurs, or like we give you a warning about behavior and then you don't fix it, I'm just gonna ban you because I don't want people that other people feel like they need to actively avoid because that's how you kill a community.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's nothing personal. It's not that I hate you. It's just that sometimes you got to prune the bush to make it grow right.
Yeah, we've had I mean, it's not like we've had any major issues, but there have been a few things that we would prefer to not repeat in the future, and we will always give you a warning before any drastic measures are taken. So don't be coming in with the bullshit of like I got banned for no reason. If you get banned, you will 100%. Unless you're Astros and I'm trolling you, because I do that. I do ban Astros for no reason.
He does funsy ban Astros, but that's a meme. But here's the reality. Like, there are people in our Discord that I have literally had straight up fight arguments that I do not like at all. And I don't ban those people because they
Right.
haven't done anything wrong. Right?
Right.
So if you think I banned you because I don't like you, you are very much mistaken.
Blake doesn't even like me, and I'm still here.
Barely. I
I'm
mean,
hanging by a thread.
if it weren't for his super nice mother, we really wouldn't.
Don't talk about my mom, Blake.
She's a sweet lady.
She is, but you don't know that.
She's warm,
No, don't
and accommodating.
say
She
it.
fills out a kimono.
Don't say it.
You know?
Stop talking to me.
He's
For the love of God.
I was gonna go on, but I'm gonna be nice and stop for now.
Oh, you're gonna be nice.
I'm gonna wait till later.
I'm sure you are.
Probably till you suss me in Among Us, and then
Yeah.
I'll do something.
And then I will vote your ass out instantly.
We have been, as a Discord, like, we've been playing League, and then later in the evenings we've been playing a lot of Among Us. The guys from Leaguecast come over and hang out. Like, that's our, I don't know, closest
They
friends
barely
podcast.
third imposter us at all. It's fine.
They barely third imposter us at all. So I mean, basically,
Aiden is on logs all game. It's fine.
Yeah. So I mean, we do stuff. We're a fun community. Come hang out. Leaguecast comes and hangs out with us. If you like them too, they're over.
Because their community sucks so much that they have to come and hang out with us to have fun.
Yeah, that's it. That's what it is. All right. Anyway.
Just kidding, Aiden. I love you.
That being said, we're 2 hours and 10 minutes. Enjoy episode 194 and 95, and thank you all for your support. And
Wait,
thank you all for hanging
294?
out. Yeah, and 295.
Yeah, you said 194.
Did I?
I'm pretty sure you did.
I did not lose 100 episodes.
No.
So this is 294 and 295. So thank you all. Probably just gave Wormlax a pants-shitting heart attack because he's now one episode closer to 300, where he's supposed to be the guy that plans the event.
Yeah.
So,
suck it, Wormlax.
Suck it, Wormlax. Oh, yeah, one more thing. We are on Amazon podcasts now. So if you say, I don't want to say it because I have one here, wake word, play League of Legends Anonymous podcast, it will just play the newest episode to you through like Echo or any of that. Right?
Yeah.
So that's super cool. And we're on that now. So I think actually,
although I don't know that you would want the Lola podcast playing out loud in any context. I think that is strictly in your earbuds or alone in your car. But you have the option now.
Well, I have the Echo Auto in the car. So if I'm just like, hey, play it, and then it does it all hands-free, that's nice. But yeah, we're on that. So hit up that and get us some more downloads. I would appreciate it. All right. Good night, everybody.
All right. You need me to stay in the room?
Yeah, wait till it's done uploading, and then we'll cut it.
All right.
Good episode.
It was a good episode.
We really made that 2 hours just glide by.
Oh, yeah. Aiden said to do the real good night, everybody.
Nah. I already ended it.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Is the stream still on?
Yep.
Cool.
We're still on.
I can't talk about how much I hate Aiden.
No, you can. He'll just know.
That's honestly almost better.
Yeah, you might as well just get it right out in the open. Piece of shit. So, yeah, is he the guy that brought Testimony in?
Yes, that's one of his friends.
Fuck you, Aiden. Fucking.
Oh my god. I swear to God, he didn't used to do this shit, but he's just been third impostering so fucking hard lately. He's going through like the Among Us equivalent of like a sexual.
That's your cousin? Ugh. Oh no.
Not know that actually. You know, like when you haven't gotten laid in like 3 months or whatever, and it's like you're having a dry spell. That's him, but with crew wins.
So like you haven't gotten laid for like 3 months, so you accuse every woman around you of murder with no evidence. It's like that, it's a totally understandable thing. He went from playing great to being the worst.
He really did, and it was
He
like 2
did.
days ago. He was actually like pretty on point with his accusations, and then he just took a turn for the int, and that's kind of
Yeah, I
been the
didn't. That was like, and that's the fucked up thing is he's just like, it was Blake, and I'm like,
well now he's in like the fucking like when you're playing League and you're tired of losing, so you want to carry harder, so you start like making dumb plays. He's in that, but for Among Us, he's tired of accusing wrong. And he wants to get a correct accusation, so he just starts accusing even more wildly, and it just is like a vicious cycle that continues. Is what I feel like is happening.
I feel like that's fairly accurate. All right, I think we are good, Michael. It's
All
all
right.
downloaded, so we'll cut the stream here and just head over to the Discord.
All right. See you guys.
Good night, everybody.